kubona abo bakanyuka bande bari aya moko yose Imana ishimwe ariko ntimwibagirwe aho byatangwa rero ahantu rero bitandukanye n'abarundi rero abadede byose bohereje mu mahanga mu buhunzi ari abatutsi ari abahutu donc hari une parenthèse nari ngiye kwibagirwa mu Rwanda abantu bohereje ababyeyi bacu muri parmihutu hanyuma impanga ya parmihutu i Burundi yitwaga parmihutu Frodebu iva muri parmihutu FNL iva muri parmihutu CNDD-FDD iva muri Frodebu yavuye muri parmihutu na MSD nayo ni parmihutu noneho mumbwire ikibazo cy'abari abantu bari hanze bari contre CNDD b'abahutu ikibazo cyabo si ukuvuga ngo turarwanira abarundi ngo bose ngo twese ngo tubane neza iyo mvugo baba bashaka yuko abanyarwanda bumva abanyarwanda twe tumva kugira ngo twifatanishe nabo ariko ikibazo bafite n'icyambere kandi barabivuga bajya babyigisha nuko umututsi atazongera kandi gutwara i Burundi pas moins de 400 ans umuntu yakumva niyo ndavuga akibaza ngo ngiye mfite amacakubiri reka sijye mbivuga biri muri constitution biri muri iki nani FPR ikinjira mu Rwanda muri 1994 ntabwo yaje ivuga amoko kuko deja bari barabiteguye nani amategeko y'u Burundi ama constitution yabo aturuka muri nani mu makuru yarusha deja yashiraga amoko muri nani kuri ku meza sijye mbivuga rero iyo bari abantu bari baravuga genda bagirira imbabazi bose simbumva kuko simbona
gato yamubaza kuravuga kuri constitution ubu ngubu nuvuga ngo baracyafite de pourcentage donc muri constitution Burundi nuvuga ngo abatutsi bo 40% de Hutu 60% yeso cyane ubwoba rero biri ikiri pire reka mubwire ikiri pire ibyo mu Rwanda by'igihe cya Kinani na Kayibanda umwe byari clair igihugu ni cyacu abahutu abatutsi rubanda rwa kwinshi
rubanda nyamwinshi
igihugu cyari cya rubanda nyamwinshi right
ni cyacu byari clear nayo by'abarundi hari umucezo ibyo bamwe bavuga ngo umucezo wa ndani donc umucezo umwe ariko akabi text iri hejuru ivuga yuko n'uburinganira afese
ariko grand frère katuguce mu ijambo gato iyo 40% niyo 60 ni mu myandiko gusa ntabwo bayubahiriza
ni mu myandiko gusa urumva sasa rero urazima bahaye abatutsi pouvoir 40% d'abord niyo muri 40% no muri aba batutsi harimo benshi bibivange donc nabo bashobora kuba naho bahita baba 80% kwa jeyi rero hariho ukuntu rero
Burundi etarefere
sasa rero hanze ari abarefugie b'abahutu b'abarundi b'abatutsi b'abarundi bose barwanira CNDD-FDD ariko rero ikintu bahujije bose b'abahutu nuko turwanye CNDD-FDD kubera ama intérêt urumva nabo barashaka gutwara FNL ishaka gutwara nayo aka iriya MSD na Ntambara nabo barashaka gutwara n'iki byose n'iki nta kintu ariko ntabwo ari ukuvugira abarundi bagomba kugumana ya ideologie iri ku mutwe wa byose ari ya
parmihutu niyo rwa niyo mu
nashatse kubishyira clair kugira ngo abantu bataza kubivanga peut-être bakivanga ariko rero jewe nkunda kuvuga iyo mvuga ibintu mvuga mu bintu nabayemo apana mu bintu numvise cyangwa nshobora gutekereza ndareba iyo ndeba no mu maspesi yabo iki byose ari abahutu barataka CNDD ari abatutsi bagataka CNDD kandi abo bahutu n'abo batutsi ntibashaka kwishyira hamwe jamais parce que ntabwo babona ibintu kimwe kuko abatutsi baravuga bati buriya barashaka kutumara nta kindi hanyuma abahutu nabo bakavuga ati no kubera twabona abatutsi bihagije erega abantu bajya banabitangurira kuri micombero bo baravuga yuko batwawe kuva mu ngoma z'ubwami donc rero barize n'ubwenge bwo kuvuga neza utujambo turyoshye ariko rero ninkomeza ndaza kurondogora ariko nizere yuko mukomprene icyo nashatse kugeraho ni ikibazo mbona mu barundi cyabagora kugira ngo bazashobore kugira ama organisation niyo yabaye mu Rwanda n'iriho muri Kivu ya Nord n'iriho muri Kivu ya Sud iwacu ko naho ni iwacu
urakoze cyane uziko nsanze bino bintu niwo muntu byumva kazi kubera twebye bigeze ahantu biducanga tukibaza je niyo mpamvu ashaka kufange ntajya na intervena muri bire bintu ndagenda nkabira nkumva ibyo bavuga
richi mwereke kumari ari atabi reka mwereke kumari atabi maze kumva yuko ari abanyamurenge benshi sinari mbizi kuko ntabwo nabona abo twese turi abatutsi donc sinari nzi yuko ari abanyamurenge babarimu bari baraje kwigisha i Burundi benshi
bari baragiye
igihe cya micombero nta n'umwe yishwe azira ngo ni umunyamurenge cyangwa n'umututsi kuko iyo babica nabo babica ngo ni abanyamurenge babicaga kuko ari abatutsi nane bagaza nta n'umwe bari banabakeneye ni main d'œuvre urumva yari main d'œuvre kuko bakundaga bari mu masecteur abarundi batakundaga cyane ariyo kwigisha donc directement bakahita babona akazi donc c'était kuri bagaza Micombero c'était un avantage ariko rero manani urumva ariko ingoma zibaza za ngoma za
ariko ni network yawe y'umundo
oya ni kubera hari umuntu ari aragerageza kumamagara muranyumva
turakumva
none ibintu byose ntabwo ari abanyamurenge gusa n'abatutsi en general batanguye kwicwa igihe ndadaye na Frodebu yagize ubutegetsi kandi wabubahaye muramuzi ni buyoya bari abantu ntibanashima niyo bari ikinarye kandi ariwe yatumye byose
ibyo uvuga ni ukuri kuko on compte plus de ça abanyamurenge bahaguye ariko ikibazo bafite ejo wenje ko hose nani munyari size umuntu yazanye amakomantere ya mutuwana hano yazanira kuri muza yaje merci grand frère tunashukuru sana tu nous as beaucoup appris en tout cas yewe bino bintu urwo ntangiye kubona umuco wawe oui nabyumvise cyane merci cyane ruri ase mutuwana ni sans papier binini wamwaciye ngo muri Mediterane Inter bizanye kuri commentaire ya groupe yanjye yewe inafungura space ya vendredi mnaletea mashitori ya mutuwana hapo
Grand lake ni show.
Watu kwa nafanya marejeshe kwa watu wengine. Ni wapukure naye.
No ngarano bamwe akazi bari bari muri eshofari. Ubwana ugakora kubera biko plus de 50. Ibyo byose biri muri commentaire. Il a traversé Méditerranée, il est sans papier, tout ça, cette histoire, c'est quoi ça?
Na wundi mugenzi wiwe wo mu general en carton. Nawe ngo kuri special.
Byabaye.
Kamutora kumbe anaenda ni kutiripya kameze.
Wagira ngo numusudere amaboko yiwe.
Ahubwo se yari
yarizize mukoro.
Banaita rouge beze banaita ni.
Asana kwa niambia sana kwa mwarme.
Hapana. No. Wana chaje AI yaje wakifuata mafoto
No, asana kwa
Wasona muyo.
wake na discipline. Abantu bo muri arme ari kintu kibaranga bagira discipline.
waya makuru ahubwo we genda shakisha. Ari muri arme muri tazi.
Bazamwitwarira. Bazamureke. Niba muri arme.
Bazakohereza muri mu bajanja bide bakamenagura umutwe. So it's a Friday, you guys, what you guys up to? So I don't expect anything to be that serious. Na yani parenthèse yari je mariko tuyigeme ibintu byinshi atawe.
Njye nzamutse ndi kubabwira ngo arabatangiye gushyiraho ifoto itari yanjye n'umuzungukazi niba ari umushinwa niba ari gisimbizi ngo nisuka nangaye. Nabonye badrapye kuri space ya ntuza ya mutuana amene ya Beans.
Usigaye pevera abana b'abazungu se.
Natangano. Bana yaje. Navuze abantu nabarwayi kabisa. Reka sinzi niba hari nayibereka ahangaha muze muyirebe rwose na postinze.
Yishiro turebe.
Kaze nyohereze.
Tibafite n'amakuru utazi no guterera.
Ipatie jolie.
Ngani patie jolie.
Yawe.
Na setse.
So you have a white girlfriend?
Ngo mfite umuzungukazi ngo umuntu ariko kabya.
You're living your life.
Byabaye.
It's a weekend.
Aki bata ku rezo sosio. Meke kirani kurayishaka.
Ngiyaho hejuru. Uwo muntu simuzi naka ubu kameze uko umuzungu nawe simuzi ngasukana ngaye ariko barayaye. Umuntu arahaguruka neza akihimbira ikinyoma.
Oya ahubwo suka nawe ntugira amaso ngo si anaele.
Nawe they put you muri operation. En fait, il y a une opération. We have a trend with Burundians here.
Lakini Richie
Operation.
Maria ni nani?
Uwo ni anaele no kurita anaele suka.
Dajo
Maria
suka nangaye.
No barimo kugutaginga ngo
bakwaginze suka nangaye muturage bagutaginze.
Kondo muturage.
Oh
my god.
Suka nangaye. Cyo cyo kuva mu mujyi ukuze bro. Mwe baragutagize bakwereke.
No, ndiko ni foto hasi. Nkabona handitseho suka nangaye bantaginze nyine.
Nyine rose muna kutaginze yakweretse.
Anaye byanditse hehe?
None se yakweretse gusa none se ko twese.
Wewe arimo arashaka attention yawe. If you see, he's looking for attention. He just wants you to, to see what is posting. You got uri ani anaere avec une momie umukecuru ntazi.
Sasa
est-ce que muona nisikia?
Unafikia usema biko hayo
Bien dada bare.
Fresh wewe tu mbona shapote?
Unaga mtu kama Aisha owa ifo kimega mapo.
Unatobora ngoma.
Angaliki mwane mone.
Fukure na wewe.
Flere unishtukia Richie.
Observe. Za kukubitana muri bafukure natia foto yako pale ukiwa plage na bibi yako.
Mwe mtu anaoa mpatia tangombe. Ni bata community.
Ngombe za kuiksi zinaishaka hapa make ile saa tunasema na ndio zina.
Mimi nakwambia mimi yenyewe nilipatia
unafanya mariage mode silencieux.
Iwacu Esther nilipatia ngombe sasa nange naraitanze. Konda mwishuza. Waiza ni vuba. Siko sasa mimi niko nauliza Maria one Muyej ni nani? Nikati fishe ni mtu mwe wanaiwana naye. Alisema kule space. Alisema kule space asenda batia nje mwe wote. Nikonda mke kariko zile za wafukureza wa Kongomani. Waligombana. Walifukurana leo kweli.
Abo wapi pale mara
no imihanda uyu munsi yanyereye sawa
kule kukomexe ex wanyu
baliko kandi waje kuri Cojex ngo Cojex akuzutesha
uzuko nanjye naje kuri Cojex quelques minutes numva nta vibe nisura kuri Comex bari
ni monologue
ngo connect aux États-Unis ngo meke
byabaye sinigeze
ngo nubwo wabonye visa ariko ntiwanize mugurika kamera tuvuge
babwiye album
Comex sinaherutse bari kudenonsa politiki muntu ni bari kimuntu wa mumama bari gutuka bakongera bakazana baza bamutuka
aisha ntambara ya Kasai na Katanga
Comex ukuntu imeze kila
Comex rero ikundi shock
buri muntu ari kudenonsa buri wese
ibyo nibyo mbiza
Richi uzi ibintu bibabaje nuko bajya bashwana kuri abashwana ariko iyo haje question tutsi question munyamurenge bose zira difference zo zidifera bazishira ku ruhande bakabataka batazi ko bafite ikibazo bafite ikibazo none manake bire ni
Dairo mutumye ije yaramanuka nawe yize muri bafukura ariko kujya
ije njo murundikazi boy umwenzi kandi n'umunyese wanje umwenzi utaba muri bafukure utaba mu basapotinga M23 wibera hano wivugira science akivugira philosophy
ibyara we ntabwo muri
bavugira bazamutora niwe basubarora dore baba murusaku wariho abarundi nibo bantu ba mbere nasanze zavuga gahoro gahoro ariko bakavuga amafuti noneho ziba takitu na kimwe wowe ushobora batu nubwo iwacu yari nadutereza example hano za FP za twigwane abo bose bagiye kurwana mu gihugu cyabo bebote baragwaga tu hapa kuika fuyo ngo bazaza
joli
bazagibohozi
joli ona reba ukuntu bimeze uburundi kuva bwabaho nta muntu urabubohoza cyo ni cyambere uburundi gukora intambara mu Burundi biragoye bakora rebellion bari muri Congo uvuga ngo utere Burundi ni uturutse muri Congo hari Tanganyika iri hariya urumva ahandi naho imbibi zaho ziragoranye bibera muri nguyo
senda rero babaye Burundi yango netwa Gustave yarapfuye
Gustave bango barayishe
ushobora gutera Burundi Gustave yasigurira
abarundi
Barundi
ni batu wanashipendea katu ambiance ni bikubitira kayeri baje brochette bakubite commentaire barize
joli iyo leta tabara iyo leta tabara yabo kuva 2010 2011 iroperetsinga muri Congo ntiratera n'igihugu ngifate basi n'umudugudu ngo urumva ivyo ari biki
bonsoir sir Burundikazi umwe twemera hano
la défenseur humaine
bonsoir
me, I'm just leaving live bonsoir observer. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi. Narimbonye sukana guy let me just go up and see what's going on. Unfortunately, he left. As soon as he left, I went back down because I had just come for him, you know.
That is not sukana guy.
yaje mu mujyakuze yagiye kubaza ibyamubaye
I wanted to be him. That picture is good. Whether it's him or not, that's him for now, you know. Yeah. En tout cas, faut qu'il commence à mettre un t-shirt quand même, c'est important. Il va attraper froid.
Say what you gotta say.
No, il va. Unfortunately, he's not.
Yesterday, I had a space where say it like it is, so you should, you know what I mean.
Oh, mais attends, je viens de voir la photo là. Ça, c'est qui?
C'est Anaël. C'est ton cousin Anaël.
Ah,
Non, ça c'est observer là-bas.
Mère.
Why are they saying it's Sukananga? It's observer.
Oh, Anaël, il est avec des Chinoises et des Blanches. Ça va, hein?
Ouais. Bon, en tout cas, les amis, bonne soirée.
Gumangao tunago tuganira siasa.
Ah, yeah. C'est
turi
dans tous les sens.
No, tugiye kuri
Le problème,
Praiva.
Richie anaanza maspese moja hivi kisha usubuhi tutaramuka video moja kinapita na Richie kisha wanasema observer.
I don't want to find myself in a video with you guys. I don't want to claim you guys as my friends.
ariko EGR nawe ikinatinya nawe ngomba kuzakimenya icyo ari cyo
atinya aya matiku yo ku mihanda none wewe uti wayatinya nawe ndahiro ndabona
yara nani nkindi rero Ntambara nawe yafata
Bibiliya iravuga ngo
ibintu byose bikora kuri politiki.
ni ukuvuga ngo nakonje nashushe ashobora kurukwa
aya ndahiro
Ogopa watu wenyewe wanakimbaa
ubwenge yitandukanya n'abantu bose
ndashaka kuzamenya icyo kintu atinya
ahubwo hari akandi kantu
wenda namutinyura
mujya mwumva ukuntu abarundi bavuga bitonze kandi bose bazi kuvuga niyo mpamvu badashobora kubona igisubizo
Umuntu wese akora ibyo
buri muntu ari very smart
umuntu wese akora ibyo ashoboye ibyo ashoboye n'ibyo adashoboye ndabyigirwa
amagemu n'abanyana ngaho turi kumwe nande ngaho nkabona Dr. Fulana arahindutse
no abarundi
nawe se professeur bavuga docteur
na professeur ni professeur actually uriya professeur inde inkwakuzi yaramukundaga cyane uriya ujya yandika ibintu byinshi
bana ba Yuda
Maxime
ça je me sens bon anyways moi
on veut pas parler de la politique burundaise non stay there we're not gonna talk about the politics I swear to God
umuntu ufite akari mubabeshya akababwira ko muri kumwe mu kurwanya intambara imwe mwese ko muri purta batutu hapa ni loyenge twende beba
muri 30 minutes turavuga siasa noneho tuzamuka
I'm gonna tell you watch my moves yewe umaze kubona ko abantu bafite ubwenge bwinshi menya ibyo nzajya mvuga iyo utari kuvuga iby'iwacu ibintu byo kujya kuvuga iby'uburundi ibintu byose birenze metero 5 z'iwacu I don't talk about it nzajya mvuga ibya Iran kuko mwese ntabyo muzi and I'm safe iby'uburundi I'm not gonna talk about anything about it I swear to God
umunsi bazakora ibya affecting igihugu cyacu tuzabivugaho wowe uzabireke
uwo munsi ntabwo wari wagira
ariko mana yaje bazavuga iki ki affectinga
none se ntibabivuga
barabivuga ariko hari icyo bakora sibyo kuvuga
none kuvuga byose si propaganda
ahubwo se njye mureke mbabazi hari iriya foto nabonye ya mangetengete ziriya shamba
ngo ni komando esona
ngo ni afande
general wewe umutangiye kubanya general
wagiye kubohora igihugu azafite iyo ndi kureba
ndahero vandredi uyu ukora
Joline za manuka nawe ugende usange mangetengete ureke uve kuri space ibyo wagiyemo
ariko jewe gasinukura ayo makosa ngo ngene nambare te no gizafo change singisha no umusirikare change simura nije foto zetu na bateni ngo bamenye ngo
bavuga nkaho ufite shwazi ibiri n'ubundi ntiwamubaye
nyine sinamubaye njye sinakubesha depo zamani mie nilikuwa mara abasoda mimi nilishina abasoda leko niko bebe nikakomana na abasoda so basoda nilikuwa nabajua sasa
ndio mwana uko na tete
mimi peke nilikuwa tu sasa soda so mimi kuniona mtu anashibalisha mateni ile ndio unakana shikamatisha foto ku rezo sosio ngo agiye kubohora igihugu ariko mana ya
ese manipulation propaganda ni iki we nawe acha areka guca abandi intege
nibyo byose
ariko mana yewe zawe twafashe
ahubwo Jolie usually I just want to ask everybody a question here. What do you guys do in the weekend, like especially on Friday? Because Friday nibwo bwa mbere twese tuba twinjiye muri weekend. What do you usually do?
Bon, moi par exemple, I'm about to leave. I'm about to go out. So yeah, deuces.
Where are you going?
No. There's something I didn't hear right there.
Muraba bose n'injuri hafi ushobora kuma linki.
And I tried you last time. You told me you were very far.
But now I can.
Tugende.
Niye none.
Ndagwe map. Ndagwe map.
Ariko nta kiheri nywa ngewe.
Ari ntaco nyo humura. Ariko bega niko kimuziga warundi wo kazi bose banyenzoga ntanzoga.
Uratandukanye reka umurundi katandukanye.
Ni wamazi. Yewe. Ariko bameze nk'usinze da.
Eseja ubura
doesn't make a difference.
urasohokana umutipe ugiye kunywa isukari we arwaye diyabete bazavuga ko wamuhaye uburozi byagenze
Ariko navuze reka ko
inzoga baraziciye.
I'm talking about Ndahiro.
and the hero is the guy.
Ndahiro mpaka mna.
Apparently not.
ariko aba yasinze umwuka.
Ako se ubundi ubona energy za Ndahiro ashizemo inzoga atashara.
Niko pasteur.
Ndahiro agira umujinya mwinshi.
Niko pasteur.
Ndahiro yaduhitana.
We pasteur wae unakuwa una deliver kwa watu wa demo pa.
Niko pasteur ariko
Kiapa kunywa pombe utatua shevo.
Chokoze kanda Ndahiro abacanga na alcohol yo.
Ndahiro.
Yego.
Ase ukunywa.
Aya sikunywa hata kidogo.
None ubaye gute none ni gutazumwa ubaye gute.
Mbayeho.
Udasanzwe asinze.
Abantu bose basigaye bakunda keri nk'abarundi.
Nasinze urugomo.
Bazi umugabo ngo bayeho gute n'imbutago.
Oya nagize ngo n'amazi wenda bayonka Maria munone kumva se natwe amazi n'amata ni yadutunze.
Tuba kunywa inzoga.
Kunywa inzoga uliza bajoli bo kumshaka.
Ukumbuke walikuwa wananiambia se ari umuntu wari kumbwira ngo shaka
uliza bajoli bakumshaka ndio wanayoga.
Ari umuntu warimo kumbwira ngo shaka kunjyana muri boîte sha byarangiye atanjyaye.
Ndahiro uraza tuje muri boîte rero nkwereke.
Ndahiro kwa Canada nakuwa kama
Ndahiro umva Ejia hari
kamata Ejia Ndahiro
Jolie sounds like she knows what to do in a nightclub. Yeah,
the only issue I have a baby, so I
bring the baby, Jolie. It's okay.
Ibyo ngibyo mu Kinshasa nibyo bazakora bajyagenda kubyina n'abana.
Does the baby have a father? You can leave.
Oya nyine nta mwanya.
Niba afite se musigire umwana.
Umunsi naje Montreal uzabona.
None se Jolie ntago ujya mu kazi ukamusiga.
Kuva yavuka sindagenda kumusiga.
Niba ushobora kumusiga wagiye mu kazi umugoroba umwana amusigira na papa
agiye gukora bagiye mureka gushukana akaba agiye gukora
ararushe mwa ibyo tuzabitangira umwana yabaye autonome.
Agiye gukora iki?
Agiye gusirimba.
Ariko kuzina wa
tuzaturirimba nema ya Goligota. Uno
ese Ndahiro ko gusirimba z'amara ibyo bigoye ko nta muntu ujyaje ngo umugore ngo yitere yari mukuru ariko yajya muri boîte yabyina kazuke
bikarikiba. Ushaona gisi bayima siku wanasirimba kama wanatia vodo nyuma. Cheza we baya kushakinga wanatia vodo nyuma. Baya wanasirimba ma.
Shake bari.
Shingizika ivugu nyuma nasema
Muskwenda comparer l'incomparable. Jolie unakwai.
Ndahiro mimi nilishaona bamo bibi kwa sirimba vodo ziko na tetemeka nasema shetani.
Jolie.
Unaona wanapote za wanamke hai.
Mami asha kuvalia kanguo. Ye ule sasa asha ipengamisha. Ndio anapengamisha hivi.
Jolie.
No, Ijer. Niare bipo nyini nikasema no, this is a sin. You can do that in the church. Mami anatia hivi pembeni. Sisi barafaka.
Nakubaje. Mimi nauliza. Ulikomalia kusepata ama mukadeza.
Mimi niko manya mukadeza mimi niko nasikia ma histoire tu.
Mubwate.
Sinivyo bakadeza ndo bali.
Mimi siko kumalia mubwate. Mubwate unaendaka huko mwana 18 ans. Uso ningeenda mubwate niko byanga. Nitoka kwetu niko na 17 ans.
Mubwate ni vitu vingine. Sasa tunasema mu iglesia. Sasa bakadeza ndo balituletea vitu vya kucheza na mavodo nyuma. Sasa msepati na maboko imbere.
Jondo kuko bafi unaona kabiko asirimba ba mama. unasema
uko nasema mama nao
haina tofauti na hii ya Jamaica.
no sikia Jolie nao
lakini Jolie hapa mvile kwa mimi naishi mu dernière semaine kulikuwa giterane hapa, so nikaona tukafika fasi mahali mwa hivi kwa ma 19h comme ça, wakatia gisirimba hapa, nikaona mimi moya yanachiona ni magazi. Mimi nilikuwa tena mprotocol ashirikira to hasi, nikasema sasa leo njo leo aiwa mazara kuruka mama.
Imagine kama iko nakusikia sasa
Yachi oiruka yarangushe.
Si biko publique mon frère, basi mbona iko kuba
anaenda kumusema yuko na dance ikana byinira Imana utangiye kumupingana simukaze mupingira
Njyewe n'umugore wanjye ukajya utambuka kujya kubyina hariya mu bantu twabivuga. You gonna tell me
niko nani Richi,
So your wife can't pray?
can't dance for God.
that's dancing, that's not praying, that's not even.
It's a form.
Do you know
for the devil in the Europe?
Jolie, do you know where they get inspiration from? They get it from David, who danced the naked. David danced, urumva? David yaradansinze ikuraho imyenda. So why do you have to condemn?
Ikibazo cyo gusoma Bibiliya nabi rero muzanya muduha n'ingero zivuga.
Niko bimeze. Yarabyinye umwitero, uretse yarabyinye umwitero uvaho. Arakomeza aratamba. None wowe uri kunenga umukobwa wakuyemo inkweto.
I like you kuvuze ngo mwitero. Urumva daboro kera nubwo bambaraga imyenda. Ubu wabyina wambaye ipantaro igaturika nkavuga kuri normal.
Sibaza zigatabuka.
Urumva ni ibintu bambaraga cyashoboraga no kugwa. Ni ikintu yateruraga agahita yitereraho gutya. N'umwitero nyine. Ubonye umugabo asirimbye ipantaro igacika papa.
Ishati iratoha igatoha ikaba amazi. Kandi
nta yindi umuntu agucaho kumva.
Kandi nta yindi yazanye y'umweru igatoha.
Mungu yambona ndi kubyina indirimbo iyo ari yo yose Jean ya Sekila akahita njajinga. Kandi we yahitabuye imbere y'abantu.
None so uri kubyinira Satani?
Satani ni ryari abantu bazamubyinira? Abadebo
Satani ari orchestra agira amani.
Wambyinira Satani.
Kambariki ubwo mwafatanya na
indirimbo iluwa Satani.
Ejo ubundi twari tuganira na Lucifer, ndimo vyuka.
Wewe wari muganira nawe.
N'umupetsi mu Nigeria yavuze.
Wageze kuri iyo level,
Yari muri space ya Rich.
Sinagera kuri level yo kuganira na Satani.
Harimo babiri rero akaduse Lucifer babiri.
We had a Lucifer in our stage.
Abandi ariho abatambira Satani.
N'ubundi muzavugana n'amadayimoni hano.
Jolie.
Tabatambira Satani ndani. Abantu bose bazaririmba baririmba urukundo. Nta mugore ugira, nta bana ugira. Bazaririmba urukundo, bakaririmba ukuntu bakona yakunze, akaririmba sashe mulingana.
Ibishegu.
Noze shida Satani ari he?
Ari muri ibyo bishegu nyine.
Ibishegu ni binini.
Asa ujui ibishegu?
No, nyine ngene explique ibishegu ni nini?
N'ubweruzi mu kinyamurenge.
Hakuna bweruzi. Mtu akiimba making love ni ibishegu.
Jolie, attends, je vais reka mbabwire ikintu kimwe.
Do you even know what it means making love?
Scary Jesus.
So can I tell you guys something? And then
go ahead, BGR.
So the word dibishegu in Kirundi, muribuka wa mugirwa bita kubandwa. Sinzi ko n'ahandi muri
ndavyibuka
abantu bakera basenga twe bavuga ko bakaba hari umuntu yitwa Kiranga who was some sort of a priest. Upon Imana, but the connection between human beings and God. So it was the equivalent of a priest. Sasa Kiranga yabafise abantu muri iyo practice yo kubandwa. By the way, Kiranga apparently baba ari nk'abantu babiri actually. And there is a few more details around that, but it wasn't just one person. Ahantu hose haba Kiranga waho somehow. So abantu bafasha muri iyo process yo kubandwa babita ibishegu vya Kiranga. Voilà. That's for the
ese ubundi mwaretse tukavuga ibyo mwaretse tukavuga
That's a very good
Richi
point.
mwaretse tukavuga
Iyo reka mpite mubaza nyine.
mureke tuvuge ku bishegu
ndahiro
mureke tuvuge ku bishegu ibyo ngibyo ibyo yaravuze naho ibi by'abanyamoko bakureho
Oya
abo baraho
ibyo yaravuze biri very
biriya byo
interesting.
kubyinira satani ni iby'abanyamoko Jody
Ndahiro reka tuhagere naho. Biriya binavuze ngo bavugaga ngo ibishegu bya kiranga. Muri iyo pratique muri iyo izi activite zabaga zirimo zirakorerwa kugira ngo twumve icyo bitaga igishegu entre muri activite zikorwa muri gahunda zo kubandwa. Habaga harimo moment yo gukora ibishegu se kwa saa mwari baje
ibishegu biri mu mutwe wabyo icyo turi
ibishegu
ibibazo wowe murazana information je pose la question.
urumva ibishegu ariko aravuga hari n'ibishegu bya kiranga it depends
ngo nawe hari ibyo nawe uri kuravuga kuki uri kugira ibyanjye gusa
byamaze kwa ibishegu ni
ibyawe sinzi
ona ukinwa nayo wowe ufite ibibazo byinshi.
okay observer
ndahiro nayo observe
c'est bon on va t'expliquer
ashaka iki
ashaka kumenya ibishegu ibyo ari
mu kirundi cyangwa mu kinyarwanda
unasikia anachakula
mu kinyarwanda ibyo urimo uyu munsi
Banyamurenge ibintu byumvanye kirundi
biriya urimo mu bishegu hivi
biriya wari urimo mu kanya nibyo bishegu
ni
ndahiro ni bandi
Rero
nilikuwa naomba kuomba njoo bishegu
urabizi
rero kwa keseri
umaze iminsi urimo
you were praying
biriya bintu umaze iminsi urimo urumva nibyo bishegu
ibi namaze iminsi yaremerewe
okay pale mina comprendre
unaona observe ushakomala ushakuwa mtu mkubwa unaingia dans la cour des grands
mimi niko mtoto niko innocent
una comprendre facilement vile.
Okay, urabona ko
Mastermind, I guess this is your first time to speak on my spaces. Who is you?
is this the other Burundian mastermind?
Nah.
Okay.
Wow, ndi mastermind wundi ntabwo uzi ukaba ari kumva abantu abashaka ngo mukomeze muganire mutongane none waze kuzamo hagati mwatukanye mumaze hakeze binite mwatukanye mwaraka Ego bisaba umunyamugi mugakinagirika bahundi. Oui.
Okay, so I need to leave maybe in about 3 minutes. Mais si vous voulez, I can read you.
I want to do the Michelle
Me, I'm not in your city. Keep that.
But go slow. Observer, go slow.
But you have to pull me into it. Huh?
Go slow on the Bishego. You know, you don't have to do it to finish it. You know, it is not going anywhere. You can go slow.
Mara, njyewe uzamuye gapita mutangiye kuvuga ibishegu ndabigenza gute.
Okay, ndababwira ingene babanza kera cyangwa nigiye.
Oui, tubwira twumve.
Claudine, no? Why are you reacting like that? Alan, okay, we have a lot of Christians here. Huh? It's okay, guys. It's just Kandi was the equivalent of praying, so I think it's fine. We should survive.
What are you talking about?
What were they doing?
Praying.
You just gotta say it.
Okay, observer. So ibishegu, I was explaining to them earlier. There is the meaning of the word ibishegu, which is no. Ahubwo jewe narinzi ko bisobanura ibintu bitari polite, but you guys have focused it on one side only. And I was just saying, in the practice of kubandwa, which was the equivalent of praying for our forefathers, there were people that were kind of supporting the whole process of kubandwa, who would support the priest, I guess, which was Kiranga. They were called ibishegu vya Kiranga. I was just sharing that. That's another.
What support were they providing to Kiranga?
Do you want me to read it for you? I have a paragraph in
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know what kind of support they did offer.
bakazana
abadiyakoni abahereza
abahereza
I think it was the equivalent of that ukeneye kubigereranya
ariko babikubisamo ibice kugenese n'imagina gahunda babaga bari
iyo gahunda y'ireke this was something else ariko mufite ikibazo ibyo niko byaze ko mubivamo
igiya my grandpa we yarabanzwe
ninde atabanzwe grandpa bacu ngira bose barabanzwe ibintu byo kubanzwa bihagaze ubu hari n'abakibandwa ubu
nawe niba warabakijwe
yakoze n'ibishego
Sajeno ubona aho abantu I think I would go and see I wouldn't even
abantu bose bambere y'abazungu barabanzwe
yeah okay so ndabibasomeye canke nigiye
ugiye ariko
se kuri kudukangisha kugenda
for real
nagende
ariko nekera ari kudukanga wumvuke ngo cyangwa n'ingendere
as if you cannot survive without me you know
it's as if you're not gonna survive with
it's a threat
urumva ndahiro ngo ese mvuge ngo cyangwa
n'ingendere
the speak of the day speak
umaze kumva abantu bakubwira ngo je musigaje ngo 2 minutes ngo utamaye ijambo ngo ndagenda as if the whole space is gonna crash if you don't let them speak
kandi hari n'uwo umaze kumva muri no space
bon anyway je vais lire ça tout de suite et puis je vais dégager d'ici so ngo kera mu kubandwa kiranga yicara ku ntebe akikijwe n'ibishegu yambaye intutu akavumera ngo okay, did you guys understand that part?
niyo mpamvu ziravumera
nyamara n'ibishegu nk'ibindi ni ukuri
ese mu bishegu ntage izo sound bazaba zazidegaje I'm asking for a friend urabona ntabwo nzi ibintu byinshi
Yeah, it's a morning.
It's morning, right?
No,
It's a morning.
no. What is wrong with you people? No. What? No.
morning nzi ko ndimo ndabeshya
donc baje basenga kiranga just because maybe it's somebody they respect or things like that.
Look, I've got to give credit to Ijia. This lady, she's so fluent in English, French, Kirundi, all this traditional stuff. I'm completely lost when you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know that
erotic stuff, whatever.
Are you trying to say that you're not understanding anything I'm saying?
I don't understand anything what you're talking about.
Yeah, ibiruta byose nuko atarakagara.
Ngaho tuzaniye ibindi bibazo hano.
Ibyo ngibyo ndacyarimo kubitohoza.
Natangaye haba umuntu uranga kuvuga kagara.
Kubera
ibindi bishaka
amaprome kirasi babaye.
Ibyo turimo kubitohoza Ijia. Banza wigire.
Ifoto ya jamaa
guys, anyway, I love you all very much. I gotta go. I'll come back later maybe.
But by the way,
by the time you come back, my
ntuboregwe rero naho ubundi urasanga twagiye
ijana namutangira ubuhamya ntago ajyanwa kabisa
umunsi umwe kuba mwaborewe uze mu ntabara nzoba nagize ikibazo
wicumva kwanza iyi ni ifoto ya suka nangaye uri kumwe n'agashima
ura ni ya nshuti yanyu nayo bamujye wa makuru
we ni suka nangaye
oh my god
noya ni nayo rata
abona ngo yama ahenda kano gashinwa
uraba
oya Richie
ya Nayel
ntumubwire ngo ni Anael reka mubwire ngo
uraba
nisikana
uri
ngo
kutuga
amutuke
afande
kwanza
wawe ngo
amutuke kwanza
mutuke
arambe
noneho
nisukana ngahe
abirukane
ngabona ngo
neza
agire gutagashimwa papa
ariko uyu muhungu ni imfura kwera arasa neza
Yeah.
ubonye imfura z'abagabo atandukanye na ziravumera kabisa uyu ntubona ko ari umugabo ushitse
uko wamutinya ngo yo kwirukana
n'ubugwaneza
ayi
oya nagize ngo nisukana ngayi mwiza gutya
ese ntimuziranye buriya bwose you don't even know your fellow whoever our compatriot like
Son pelo Kadiosha.
Did DJ leave already?
Yeah, yasigiye ikibanza Claudine.
Rayon Sport yatsinze mwana.
none se byari
Rayon Sport yatsinze
Twese dufana Rayon Sport.
ibyo byari siporo
kandi narinzi ko ahubwo se Claudie imatch yabaye niyo wa mutipa wundi wagomba gusifura muri mondial yasifuye
yeah it's the same one I think
yeah
Jeff niyo batsinze ntabwo nakurikiye.
by'abasifuzi ntabyo azi
waruzanye information narinzi gufite amakuru kumbe nawe nukunyemeraho nta kintu
I'm just happy.
ofete nabonye ejo bundi bandika uriya mutipa uriya umusomali basubijeho muri mondial uriya bangiye kwinjira muri Amerika bavuga ko azaza gusifura game mu Rwanda nibazaga ko ari iriya yasifuye wowe musanze ari wowe
niyo yasifuye ahubwo kuki Claudine atatubwira Aigle di Mali
abanyarwanda
bazakina na APR
kuri buri kintu
Aigle di Congo na Congo Aigle di Mali
28.
Kinshasa muzajyayo gukina cyangwa match bazayikinira ahandi
Yes, banape wazafana.
bene wanyu
jefa na APR
nose rishi muzajya gukina Kinshasa
Tubwira Rayon Sport bavuze APR urayishibuse ariko mana yawe.
abandi bazaye Kinshasa
mwebwe ba APR muzajya gukina Kinshasa
APR izajya Kinshasa
ntabwo ubizi se
ndiho ndabaza APR izaye Kinshasa ngiye ntabwo tuzajyana
bazakina nose bakubwiye
Kinshasa se ntibafite umutwe wanjye n'ibirwa
no babasekuriza kamwe ngira ngo bogenda hariya bakabasekuriza
Batabapigia mutere observe.
ndababwiza ukuri iriya match
yaje mu Rwanda no
mu Rwanda surageranya ni Kinshasa no mais Kinshasa banaza basekuriza ni compliqué abatabasekirize ruze muri twawe yatinye kujya ari president wa ari secrétaire uretse gato
ibihugu zano
chunga kwanza SP
ngo mubigereranye na za
Louise Rikatara kwenda mu francophonie APR nizagenda
APR itaende dasha kwenda John.
bazakirira hanze iriya match
uzi ko APR muri federation yabo muri club ya observer sikia APR ilikuwa affecté na cyagiye bafasha amasanction y'abasirikare bamwe mu Rwanda n'ikipe ya APR ya basket yahise iva mu marushanwa pour dire que APR rero ibintu byose bikora kuri Congo somehow it's a little bit risky. Sinekereza ko bazaba more comfortable going to Kinshasa. I don't know.
I think bazasaba ko bakinira hanze.
No, this is just me speaking. I don't even know if the bazafata your risk ariko I guess ko the tensions are not.
Bazakinire Brazzaville.
Banaweza enda Brazzaville.
Est-ce que Brazzaville panakuwa stade bien?
Eh, Brazzaville ni bon.
Atana Brazzaville rega nabona abazairo
ariko Brazzaville politiki ya Brazzaville n'u Rwanda rwose bigendana neza cyane nta kibazo na kimwe bafitanye
ikintu gitangaje nuko bo bagiye Kigali n'ubushize bari bari nuze niye yaje rupo uzi ikipe yeruka kuza kwakira
no abazairwa bo ntaho batagenda abazairwa kugenda Kigali nta kibazo ariko iyo nabasazi ntago bacumbikira
ya BA
no apana ball ni ya football yakinye umwaka ushize
ariko Richie uzi umuntu zo wo uravuga ngo umusawa ndi umuzayigwasha
uraza kunyita sha muri space yanjye
none se wowe uri iki wumva
ndakubwira ikintu kimwe uzajya uza hano uje kuganira apana kuza kwerekana ibintu bigaragara utawatekereza
wumve ubwenge bukeya
Richie,
wumve ubwenge bukeya
Richie, sha ivuze
uyu mupeta agira ubwenge bukemeye nta
Richie,
kintu amumara
reka nkubaze
nakubwiye kare ngo mumanure
sha bivuze
nta kintu naraje gukora bro
maze wari wamuzamuye utamuzi se
kijoro wamuzamu ijoro ryo se akandi kagara
nimureka
aruka ndamataye
yabanye Michel
njye hari ikintu ntajya numva hari abantu ibo ntago bazi urugero bagereramo n'amagambo bavuga uraje muri publique ahantu bari gutanga ibitekerezo bitandukanye all of a sudden ubisuba igicucu gusa utangiye kuvuga ibintu
ahubwo wasanga unamuruta n'imyaka ariko ari kwita ngo sha umuntu
umurutaho ndamuruta
kubaza se sha bivuze iki Richie
we naye observe
lakini Richie
Observer, I want to ask you
na
one
wewe
question.
ulishirika
When somebody talks to you, and then akakubwira ngo you
it's
boy.
like Jude
Yeah, dude. Not dude. Just boy.
no barundi banakwambianga
exactly.
sha aisinyipi mubandi
sha ya Burundi na sha ya Rwanda na sha y'Abanyamurenge yatandukanye
Twese twaraba abantu bavuye iwacu iyo umuntu akubwiye ngo sha bakubwiye
ariko abarundi yakubwiye sha ntabwo bakubwiye nabi
it's like somebody tell you boy.
no
Boy.
it's not like
Okay,
that
boy, that's
ntabwo ariko mu kirundi bimeze biterwe n'ukuntu
na mu kinyamurenge umva Claudine mu kinyamurenge iyo umuntu akubwiye sha aba ni umuntu kwanza uburuta ni nka boy like nta muntu wabwira umuntu aruta like umuntu nduta se namwita sha icyo ni icya mbere ni nko kuvuga ngo peti ngumva peti ese wabwira umuntu ngumva peti
sasa unakuja umva peti ni kitusi na mwana mushakunywa
se probleme yako nuko yabishize mu gifaransa kugira ngo byahindure
mtaki kwambia wewe peti yangu Richi make unakuwa siri
utaniambia na uko petit cyane ariko wowe tuba tumenye ibo ari umuntu udaregiya yadukangaga ngo aragiye none aragarutse wowe petit
non c'est juste pour vous dire hein unabwiye ngo sha it's actually a term of endearment it's like sweet
in Kirundi
iyo ni Kirundi
iyo ni y'Abarundi
none se expert mwamenye yavuze iyi expert yavuze iyi yo mukagara mwahise mwishana mukagara asigaye hari
gisekeje
Richi sinyo mwengine
expert just told you sweet
ikintu gisekeje ikintu gisekeje niba ukomeza kuvuga ibintu biri interesting dore IGR arasohokera muri sat mu cyumba cyiwe ya boite
yavuze agiye kujyamo araba yirimo ariko afite telefone ku gutwi ari kumva space
n'ubundi ko amaboite yo muri Ottawa tangira bwije urajya muri boite saa moya kamene wari ugiye kugira
gute jana kuko grand frère moi alikuwa hapa aseme mbona unaanza fama space nyuko na cheka hivi uisha abandone lit sasa wewe
baki Richi nasha kwa kagara nisize tad
fama
c'est le troisième
ntabwo iri burangire atavuze ibyo agomba kuvuga
it's as if ngewe naje hano noherejwe n'abantu bari muri cause tuzaze duhagararire muri media no somebody came up turimo turatanga hariho debate ishyushye abantu barimo baratanga amayide atandukanye hari perception observation et quoi encore abantu barimo baragenda
nipatie kwanza ko hostel iki ndio mimi naona vile
j'ai perçu ko n'ubundi bari kuyinsaba est-ce que birajyanye na perception
we nipatie ko hostel nikoneshe juu il faut tufanye filtration il faut tufanye filtrer juu Joline
relax basi msituvuruge leo hatupendi ni kagara ni bafukure ni shetani mubake na vyenu
Joline hizo siwezi
on dirait nilikuwa nimepeana observe waifashe eti nakuwa ikansalinge kwa mbona kunyihereze nusu
mbona Joline hizo anaanza sema mubaya bigenze gute
I don't know how cause I sent it to you and then you didn't take it.
I think you can. There must be a cross sign on my.
Okay.
On the right side.
Let me cancel it. I've already cancelled it. Oh, yeah. I've already cancelled it. Now I can send it
Where
to
is it,
Dairo.
Kubi?
Kubi, you can come up if you want. So now we're about to talk about something that includes everybody. So it's not gonna be like who is who, you know what I mean? Kubi na afite ubwanwa bwinshi, bro.
Me, I want afite ubwanwa bwinshi. Tuvuge ku bwanwa bwa Ngubi se.
Ngo butera inyota.
Dore Ndahiro tuguhaye pass tubwire.
Ariko nabonye afite abakuzi be beza.
Actually, Richie, I have a subject. What do you guys think about podcasts?
Wow.
I have one. I've been holding one for the past.
Your podcast don't make sense, Observer. You should stop with your podcasts.
You have podcasts, Observer?
I have.
Ndahiro, unaona kama tuko na vibe moyo. Unaambia ngo mimi na waiki kani na umesema share link so we can.
No, I'm just joking.
Why I ask you
Before I get in this whole Twitter thing, I was doing something much more interesting, much more productive. But then I got here, and then it's very interesting when you can talk about
and then you stopped being
Richie,
productive. That's what I want to hear.
Let me ask Observer a question. Observe, I watched some of your podcasts.
Yeah.
Who's your target market?
All right, so I actually work. The podcast is just one side of it, but I actually work a lot with orphanages, people that have mental issues, business people. There's really no targets as long as you're struggling with anything psychological, or you want to get away from the mundane life. So I work with a lot of prisoners, people that have PTSD, soldiers, all sort of people really. So there's a lot of background work that I do.
Why are you attracted to those
Can you like I watched some of those podcasts. I don't know if it's Ariko they are like the amagambo koresha. It's not as simple as it should be. It is so technical and so complicated. So can you actually try and make it simple?
Maybe it was meant for medical purposes. Ariko Gapita, wowe uzajya ujya muvuga ibyo ushaka njyewe umuntu kwa gatanu.
I will tell you guys later why I asked you what do you think about it.
None se Gapita. Urashaka ibishegu none?
About podcast, Papa. Gapita ni Q0. Ni Q0.
Ah, hapana. Baratandukanye.
Why ukasema kimoya?
Sasa njyewe ndabwo ibishegu mwabivuze tubireke tuganire izindi ngano.
Turavuga kuri podcast.
Turarutana hano hari ukuntu umuntu yavuga ibishegu ari kumwe n'umwishwa ari kumwe n'umukazana ugasanga ibintu ko biragongana.
Nta mwishwa nta mukazana uba waje hano.
None Gapita umwishwa ufite network n'umukazana uri kuri rezo nabo bakeneye kumva amakuru muvugana ikibazo kiri cyangwa umwe abe deconnect.
I just got one message from, in the background.
Ikiganiro cy'abasore n'ikiganiro cy'abapapa bakuru nuko niko bizaza bitarama.
Urakoze cyane ka twumva observer what were you saying?
Nariko nyumva ibintu papa Gapita ari kuvuga ibintu tugomba kumva. Kurabona hari mu space tuba abantu benshi dufite imyaka itandukanye. Hari igihe kimwe tuza dukora un peu de filtrage quand même. Papa Gapita turakumvishe. I just saw one message in the DM here. She said, tell them I came here because I realized many of you also have PTSD. I'm surprised no one caught that. And I think it's true. I think a lot of Banyamurenge have PTSD.
How did she realize that we have PTSD?
Exactly.
People have PTSD.
Yeah, a lot of us have PTSD, man. When you sit with a Banyamurenge, you actually talk seriously with a Banyamurenge. Hey, man, African. It's messed up there.
Yeah, I would say that all of Africans, like not all of them, but a lot of them. You could tell whenever we open a space, somebody's gonna come up, and all of a sudden, this person,
observe ibimenyetso bya PTSD ni ibi.
ibimenyetso kurabona d'abord ni umuntu umwe PTSD. First of all, people that tend to repeat the same cycle. Urabona abantu baba nk'abarobo bakaza bakavuga ibintu bimwe bakarepeta baza bashaka kwirukanka ikintu kimwe. Hari reality imwe iba mu mutima.
Deliverance.
Haba
yawe itari kuvuga nayo mfite PTSD ikomeza kuzima igaruka izima
haba reality imwe iba mu mutima.
That's repetitive.
No, Richie reka dusobanurire man. Ndimo ndakora
Kubi, did you hear the subject that we have today?
I'm here. Ndimo ndumva
Richie PTSD na piti natoka.
Richie chunga kwanza, niko najifanyia consultance hapa kwanza. Observer. Ushasema ibintu byo kurepetira.
Hey yo, I cannot hear anybody.
Richie yagize PTSD. Uratumva? Nagari kutumva.
Richie byagenze bite? Ninde witabiyemo umuntu?
Komeza observer. Yego kurabona hari abantu baza bashaka kwirukanka reality imwe bakaba très spécialisé mu kintu. Par exemple, d'ailleurs, certains se retrouvent bakaba ba spécialistes bakatuningira energy mu kintu kiba productive. Ariko benshi bakarepeta ibintu byinshi amagambo kugira ngo birukankire realite yabo. Kubera nimba if they can just stop all that repetition, now all those memories, all those traumas, they start coming up slowly and slowly in their heads. That's why they come up here in the spaces and talk 24 hours. Yeah, you ushobora kuba ufite rezo. Birashoboka cyane. Hanyuma se
birashoboka niko bimeze.
Ndahiro, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Get out of here. Uziko nabanje kuva muri space kugira ngo numve ko ndi kumvikana.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah. Observer arimo kudusobanurira uburyo ki abantu benshi bafite PTSD atubwira ibimenyetso byayo. Ariko nsanze nanjye nshobora kuba nyifite da. None se kugira ngo ishire bigenda bite?
Oya wowe nta muganga ukeneye nabikubwira. Irahari mu gake.
Kugira ngo ishire bigenda gute observer?
We wakize kubera wabimenye ko.
Imiti ni iyihe observer? Oya ça dépend. Hari igihe iri très sévère ugomba kugenda ku baganga. En fait tu es danger kuri société ugomba kugenda ku baganga bakavuga ntabwo danger. Oya kundavuga abandi baba maybe ahubwo abantu bari danger nibo bazavuga ngo tago bari dangerous.
Aho.
That's a potential sign.
Yeah, that's a potential sign. None se ubu nka Richie ufunguye space iminsi 3 ikurikiranya. Kandi kari rukanki kintu. Sinzi
yagize PTSD.
No, I'm asking, have you ever gone to see a therapist? Anyone?
To do what?
Me, I can't go see a therapist, Claudine. I was raised in a
I have never go to the therapist.
I will tell you. No,
some people do their therapy at the bar. Claudine, I think it can do very well for me, but I was raised in such a family that, either your problems are solved with some weeping or some dealing with it. Some beer, some alcohol.
But alcohol. For me, whenever I feel like I need it.
Can I say something? During
okay,
COVID,
go ahead.
So my husband's job, they gave them these family free therapist services. And I'm like, I'm going to use it. Him is like, you guys, no, we don't do therapy. So, and then I went to see a therapist. Sessions, I don't know how many sessions. But the thing is, I don't know. We don't have the same experience. I need a therapist who lived my life.
Okay. Claudine, my question would be, what was your experience after seeing a therapist? I mean, what did you see that I just want to, what does it come to us?
No, but before you answer, Claudine,
I'm lacking the real words. Like,
I have another way of asking, Claudine. Would you say,
Inshallah.
Would you say that what we're doing here, is some sort of therapy? Would you agree?
No, this is more of the food more. Also the food.
Yeah, but that's good therapy. Instead of me going and saying, look, this is what happened to me.
Mais what is therapy d'ailleurs? Il faut d'abord définir la thérapie.
We are all talking, so it has to be someone who's listening
I'm
then
listening to you, Claudine.
to
Go ahead.
you.
I'm listening.
Claudine, I think even
No, let me tell you how.
the fact that you are
Let me tell you why, Richie, to answer your question. I told
Therapy
the
nziza
therapist
iri mu
about
minembwe.
my life,
Therapy
my
nziza iri mu minembwe.
experience in the
Ko
genocide, and
baratanga
he's like,
uturima
so
ukaza
did you guys
ukontororera
go
akarima
back to
kawe
work?
Sikia sasa mwenye iko na vrai trauma sasa.
Gapita. Papa Gapita.
See, observer.
Therapy.
So I decided to mute you guys because I cannot hear any of you. Claudine is speaking, Jolie is speaking, Observer is speaking, and I am speaking at the same time. How are we going to understand?
it is a Friday.
Like, so, but it's Friday, Furahi Day. I hope that everybody is happy. But okay, let's proceed this way.
No,
I
mais
want
il faut que
Kubi
tu aimes
be
sujet
here for a
moi.
minute. Yes, we were talking about. So when we started, Observer was talking about. He said, I mean, it was Nairo. I mean, it was Claudine. Claudine said something about podcast, and then somebody also came with the therapist. You know, so I just wanna open the microphone Kubi to actually. Reka twumve ko avuga nawe yari taravuga. After Kubi,
Mais
allow
tu viens de ravir
also Monsieur
Claudine la
Gardien.
parole, Richie.
EGR yagarutse.
Okay, now.
EGR akunda ibintu bya
Nanjye mfite akavuyo tuko vendredi écoutez, we on Friday, so Claudine, after Claudine, Kubi after Kubi, Gardien after Gardien, tutaingia mu kavuyo sasa.
hakuna kavuyo.
Il faut kavuyo. PTSD.
Really, let me speak as the guardian, then you can look at you.
Hakuna kavuyo EGR, hakuna kavuyo deja. You see? PTSD is working.
How we cannot have therapy here because nobody listens. Just talk. Okay, I was gonna tell you that I think the reason why the therapy session was kind of I could not relate to the therapist or she could not relate to me. I told her about my whole life. She's like, hey, so guys, did your parents go back to work? Did you have therapy? I was like, therapy? Where I come from? Like, we didn't even have school. We didn't even have a hospital. So how are you gonna go to therapy? So I was like, damn, we cannot relate. So I don't. That's the only reason I didn't think I took good use. But you get some tips though. Like for example, you need to walk, take a walk. You need to not be in the same. That's why sometimes I'm worried about people who are on spaces 24/7. That's not good for your mental health. You have to change environment. You have to take a walk. You have to go to work out. You have to go speak to different people. Otherwise, you will go crazy. So, yeah, but the experience, it was a good experience.
How many hours do you recommend someone can spend on spaces? Because I see you on a lot of these spaces. So
every day.
Yeah, but you don't see me 24/7.
How many hours, for example, would you recommend? 5, 10?
You see, like now after work, you can go. For example, right now. I'm waiting on my son to finish his piano lesson, and then I'm talking to you guys.
You're right though, but I have another question.
I'm serious, actually. I was just...
Dairo, give me a chance to ask another question. Claudine, I have a question about what you just said. Okay, let's say right now we're talking about therapy. And then on a different, in another space, they're talking about politics. In another space, they are joking. So don't you think that those are three environments different? Those are three different environments that you're going to. Is this still toxic? Because you're engaging in three different type of conversations and engagements. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see, I think about space, if you have it, you work from home or you work from a place where you need company, spaces are good, like a podcast. That's why I talked about podcast with Observer. But if it's a toxic space, so you can leave it and then go to this one. I like this type of spaces, by the way, PTSD, not PTSD, or the funny one.
So you agree with the observer? You are doing a therapy here for free.
No, Claudine,
For free.
if Jolie, kidogo. 1 second. 1 second. I have another question for Claudine. The fact that we are letting our emotions out, won't that be considered as a therapy? Like you're talking to people, some people are angry, they're like insulting, others are just sharing their ideas. Won't that be considered as therapy? Like letting your emotions out?
ariko ndahiro titera konti ke na Claudine nawe ero mukiriya. Then you ask your client.
En fait, c'est qu'elle a juste oublié de vous dire.
Mais
Elle a payé pour ça. She paid somebody to listen, but
Man, what do you think about my question, actually?
No, sometimes it's not therapy, especially these spaces where people are very and then it's always politics. It's just not therapy. I'm sorry. This one
is addiction, Claudine. Most of people here are addicted to this X. So
you included, eh? Are you included in the addicted one?
I do it for fun. Have you ever?
Okay, Jolie, don't you guys think that we always do this because we are lonely where we are? Okay, Nkubi.
Yeah.
Over to you. Let me give a chance to Nkubi also to speak because it's a lot of us now speaking at the same time. But also one of the questions that I'll just leave on the table. Don't you guys think that some of us do this just only because they are lonely? Let's say I live in the northern somewhere. I don't even know. Apart from the people that I work with, or maybe the schoolmates, I don't talk to anybody else. But when I come to the spaces, I see Jolie, I see Ndairo, I see Nkubi. Then I feel like I need to talk to some people for my own health. You know what I mean? Nkubi, as a lawyer, wing it.
Yes, so
find the connection between.
Good space. So Claudine talked about therapy. So Richie, I said at some point before I became a lawyer, before I did my law degree, I first did a degree in psychology. So when you do a degree in psychology, maybe you can become a clinical psychologist, a counselor, or a forensic psychologist. So one thing people mistake with therapy is, let me use what you people have said. So I started spacing on X last year, socially. These spaces where we come and just, discuss and whatever it is. I've been doing a study since last year, April until now. I've attended your spaces. I've been in South African spaces, Kenyan spaces.
Bro, we didn't give you consent.
Senegalese, and then also elsewhere.
I suppose I've been in but this is unlawful.
I have been.
Sometimes I wonder if you're actually a lawyer because you're always on spaces. How do you take care of your clients?
That's a good question. So usually when I'm
I know you guys are sick. Can you let Nkubi speak?
Usually when I am away from Uganda, like all of you, when you're in your own country, you will not have a lot of time for spaces, right? So if you're in Congo, if you're in Rwanda, Uganda, or something, because you're in your country, you have relatives, brothers and sisters, you have friends, you can go clubbing the next door. The reason all of us are on spaces or have been is because you're in the diaspora. So when you're in the West, it's not like Africa, where everywhere is a cousin, is an aunt, is a neighbor. You can go party, move all over. People are indoors, people are secluded. That is what happens to many of you in the diaspora. So when you come on X, the best way to connect is virtually. But I guarantee you, if you go to Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, wherever you are, you will not have time for X because you'll be in a different time zone. People are sleeping, so you'll be home. Now, that's one. But also, two, for me personally, I've been away. And secondly, in my country, we're on court vacation. So court vacation simply means there's nothing much to do except criminal. But back to what I was saying, people mistake therapy. A therapist is not supposed to give you solutions to the problem that you're having. A therapist is supposed to listen to you. And as they ask questions or probe, you are supposed to give solutions to yourself by the responses you're going to give. So when people come on X Spaces, are they being helped? So when you pay a therapist $100 per hour, that therapist can do what a person can do on space. If the person on space is listening to you, if the person is not giving you solutions, is not judging you, but they keep on asking you questions that trigger your responses, and you yourself, you will be able to understand from your own responses that.
Can I get a wow?
Then also,
That's
lastly,
so true.
the study.
Go ahead. C'est quoi ton problème?
Yeah, so the study I've been doing, and I'm still doing it because I'm completing it in December. So I decided to attend over 15 spaces. So I've been in a Senegalese space, I've been in a Cameroonian space, South African spaces, Kenyans, apart from Ugandan spaces, and all of these ones. Now, I have been, as I'm spacing, I'm studying people's way of life by their responses, by how they react, how they communicate, verbally and non-verbally.
What have you learned? What have you learned from our spaces? One thing.
I think it will be packaged in the report finally, but I think your spaces, I agree with. Was it Observer? I think I don't understand the language 100%, but I think there's a lot of PTSD, if I'm getting it honestly, because most of the times I've listened in and I don't understand the language. I could be wrong, right? People are always discussing politics. But even when I think they're discussing politics, it is either M23, it is this or these attacks or something, which is good. But even when it is, I think it's more of a blame game. It's more of triggering pain rather than discussing it to either explore options, solutions, or something. So there's a lot of pain that is lingering among people. So when you people come on spaces, you let it out. But when you're letting it out, they're actually not solutions, but it's more evidence and receipts of pain and pain and pain. That's one. I can give you another example of the Kenyan spaces. When you go to the Kenyan spaces now, Kenyans are different from Rwandans and Congolese and Ugandans. Why? Kenyans, their women are the opposite of men. All of them are loud, that's true, but the women are more dominating than the men. And someone will confuse Kenyan people for being toxic because they scream, they shout over you. Even when they seem to be so strong, you've been there with me, Richie. But guess what? Even when they're shouting and they're being toxic to themselves, they're the softest people. You will later find someone crying on a space. I've been on a space and I've been crying. Look at Nigerians. To me, I could be wrong. ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So when you hear them speaking Pidgin, when you hear them speaking Igbo, the women are macho men compared to the men in the Nigerian women. You're broke, you're this, they'll scream, oh, God, and that. It's competition. If they fail to make a point, let me pay someone and then the host drops them or whatever it is. South Africans are quiet and composed. They don't talk a lot, but they will insist that it is not xenophobia. They will tell you we are just getting illegal immigrants out of our country. They want out. If you intervene with them and they want to sell you a narrative and you don't want to listen, they will mute you, they will remove you. So the study I've been doing, which I'm still doing, I can never get this experience by traveling all these countries. The little things I've learned on spaces are helping me get exposure that I wouldn't have gotten. Because here I'm getting it in real time. And now what's the best way of getting it? When people don't know you're doing the study. But also when people are not pretending to be something different. So I conclude with this. The difference between spaces and real life is when I'm on a space, Richie doesn't know me, I know him. Richie will be himself. Because I'm not his brother, I'm not his cousin, I'm not his workmate. We can pretend around our family members and workmates because they know us in and out. But on a space, you will say something and you will be yourself the same way you would have been before a therapist who doesn't know you. So here, people are expressing themselves freely without fear of judgment, but what they're saying is true. They're not hiding anything. They could pretend, but there's no need to pretend.
Kubi, sorry to interrupt, Kubi. I would like to disagree on that part. Everything you said was correct until you said this. Don't you think that when we're talking, instinctively we have an image that we have to preserve, either because it's all about groups, either I'm saying something that my group has to, they have to acknowledge that I'm part of them. So unconsciously, there's some sort of image that I'm protecting as well. So I think there's still a lot of hypocrisy even when we're talking.
That's a good observation, but it's more prevalent in practical conversations than now. So observer, imagine it's a Friday and we go out, me and you. When we go out and we're going out for the first time in Uganda, do you know what you're going to do? Chances are high you might want to adjust yourself from who you are. First time in Uganda, first time going to Mezo, where Richie likes to go, you will maybe dress or behave or spend in a certain way that you're not supposed to. On a space here, even if you turned the space into a fun Friday and said, let people have fun and discuss anything, there will be no need for you to pretend. One, we can't see you. Two, we don't know you. You don't know us. Twitter is not a real place. It's not a serious place. You will be yourself. I can tell from how you speak, the things you post, the things you retweet. But to conclude and not
if you're in a place that is not no, hold on. Kubi, if you are in a place that is supposed to be fake, like it's not a real place, how is your result? How are your results going to be significant if you already assume that the environment where you collected your information is an environment that is not a real place? So people may not be behaving like they would behave in a normal situation. Sorry,
that's observer. A good one.
They're actually even anonymous. So even the fact that we are anonymous is something that like you don't know the identity of the person speaking. Some people actually behave the way they want because they know nobody knows them. So I might be saying something that is not actually the true version of myself. You can carry on.
Yeah, and by the way, since you're conducting studies, Kubi, let me help you. Since you're conducting studies, I'm gonna give you a quote unquote honest approach. For instance, who is observer? First of all, observer is an anonymous, but in this space here, a lot of people know him maybe personally. A lot know him a little bit more, but not entirely. And maybe one or two know him entirely, like personally and so on. But I can guarantee you that at least 60% of my interactions are hypocritical.
So you're trying to tell that you're on Wi-Fi with wild opinions.
So on that one, observer, and it's
let me help you, bro, because you're connecting studies. You're getting an honest opinion at least, because maybe not everyone is gonna come and tell you here. So most of the time, 60% of the time, I'm probably hypocritical. I'm never saying what I truly think. I'm either trying to defend a position, I'm either trying to defend an idea, but my honest opinion of, for instance, a specific issue, let's say a political issue or let's say a social issue, I'm never going to come and put it out here for one reason. Either because I think most people want to understand it, or they don't want to understand it, and I understand that the world is too complex. Let me just stay in my group, for instance. So there's a lot of, I can guarantee you 60% of
Observer, I disagree with you.
That is
the consistency of yourself coming here with delusion. I cannot understand.
No, that is observer.
Delusion. Observer what you say. It's not delusion. People, les gens ont peur de la vérité aussi, observer. Faut pas oublier que les gens ont peur de la vérité. Dès que tu commences à dire la vérité, ça expose des choses et les gens n'aiment pas. Comme on dit, toute vérité n'est pas bonne à dire. Et c'est là maintenant les gens qui sont intelligents jouent l'hypocrisie et tu essaies d'esquiver. C'est comme
what you're saying.
Tout homme qui va venir ici me dire qu'il ne joue pas l'hypocrisie.
Observer, can we let Kubi land so that we can hear others also speak?
Okay, exactly. I'll let Kubi land, but let me just say this. Tout homme qui va venir ici me dire qu'il ne joue pas un jeu hypocrite dans ce space, c'est le plus grand hypocrite. C'est bon. Okay, Kubi.
C'est un menteur ou une menteur.
So every man who's gonna come here and tell us.
Oh, guys, I'm trying to bring order here. We are discussing a very important matter, so I want us to be serious. We have Gardien, who is a very important person. We have Rwanda Pundit, who is there. EGR, very important lady. She had actually said that she's gone to a club, but now she's back. So we also give her time to speak. So let's put some order for some time. After that will be
a convention of delusion.
Yeah, after that we'll make it a fun Friday, but for now let's be more organized. So Kubi, kindly proceed and think about landing, and I'll have a few questions for you.
Yeah, that's a good one. So in Observer, My study, first of all, anyway, I'm a student of political science and intelligence psychology and law. I know how to tell when a person is being truthful and not. I know on social media how to tell when a person is pushing a position and not. And I am also a student of propaganda. If you're a political scientist, you know how propaganda works. My study is focusing on real people. Myself, I use my photos, I use my name. Those are my names. Now, even when I meet the faceless people, they could be real or not. I don't focus on those. I use those who use their real names that I can correlate. But that said, I only brought it in the aspect to say that when we say, what do people look for next? People are here for different things. You who are in the diaspora, like I said, it's your get-to place. When you get to your home countries, you don't have time for X. Relatives all over, that's okay. When you're a bit away, this is where you catch up from. But also to conclude, X can be therapeutic 100% because people have problems, but people don't want to move. And if they can get the problems virtually, there's a reason as to why people are now using AI to do what therapists could have done. Because if you can pose a question, type it in the different AIs and everything, and they tell you the response. How about if you come on a space and if people can listen, they ask you the questions, and by the end of the discussion, you're able to realize by yourself what could or what could not have been. So I also learned by saying that X is not an addiction, but it's going to take over the world. And Elon Musk said this, that there's going to come a time where making money is useless. There's going to come a time where people are going to spend more time on the internet. Today, when you check studies, if you ask someone not to have food or not to have internet, someone might be than to have food. Even when they don't eat, they'll die. But they feel they can't do without internet. Because what is internet doing today? Internet is connecting you faster than you've ever been. Today, workplaces are reducing trips. You needed to fly to a certain country to go and have meetings. Everything is now done virtually. So to conclude and to land, X for me is a study place. Not that every space I go to I study. Richie has found me in a few spaces where sometimes I think he asks himself what I'm doing there. These are young people, maybe, below 30, and they're vibing or dating themselves, and they're teaching themselves how to talk to a woman and a girl or something. And you're in there and you listen. But you're studying because at the end of the day, you want to be able to do your research and collect. The research is not academic-based observer, but it is person-based. So Richie, that is my view on therapy. This can be therapeutic if at all the listening is there and solutions are not given, but the person in question is asked questions that keep probing, and by themselves, they'll get off a space and say, wait, when I hear what observer said and the hero and Neza, I think I could change this and this, and that is how therapy works.
Okay, Richie, allow me one question, and then we hear from Guardian. Kubi, would you say that we are reflecting the situation in our countries when we interact here on spaces? Are we reflecting what is happening in our country? Do you see the same pattern in other spaces as well? Do Kenyans on spaces reflect what is happening in their country? That's my question. And then the second thing I would say is, what you're saying is actually very important, that you're doing your studies here. I have seen a fellow Congolese guy in the country where I live. He actually wrote a paper, like a PhD paper, and he was actually citing spaces, like his references. He's actually talking about like some of the data he collected from Twitter Spaces. So you can answer quickly so that we can hear from Guardian.
Yeah. That's a good question, and let me use Kenyans as the best example. In East Africa, I say this with love, but they know my position. They're a little bit chaotic, so I like using them. Kenyans are to Nigerians what Nigerians are to Kenyans, and then Ghanaians are to Tanzanians what Tanzanians are to Ghanaians. What does that mean? When you go in a Kenyan space, for example, as a Ugandan, accept the fact of what I do and my profession, which they know, but they will always reflect with their own spaces. Their political trauma, with their activism, with majority of them being Gen Zs and young people that know very little history of turbulence and political instability, they will project that on you as a Ugandan with daring questions. President who has been in power for 40 years, why don't the Gen Zs wake up and remove Museveni or something? They like to express their activism on a Ugandan on a space. Who is a Ugandan? The Ugandan is like a Rwandan. He will not argue with you. He will not shout a lot because he's soft-spoken. He will let you talk. But when he goes back, he knows what to do. He doesn't need to scream and shout. So to answer your question, people are a reflection of their real lives on X. So, on the hero, that's question number one. Kenyans reflect their actual issues on ground on X by how they shout, how they lash out, and how they approach things. That's your answer, the hero.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hold on. Thank you so much for your submission, Kubi. I feel like I've learned a lot from hearing you speaking on these spaces and what you've said, right away a minute ago. But I have another question, but I don't want you to answer it. Don't you think that when you hear people talking about what's happening, let's say like when we're talking about what's happening back home, somehow you can easily think that these people they have PTSD. Is it because they have PTSD, or it's because it's a situation they are going through? I guess that also should be another point for you to a key point to consider. It might be because of the current situation, but do you know as a people? Have you ever conducted any research just to find out who are these people? How do they live? What was their reality before then and none about today? I think that should be another thing for you to consider. And then, thank you.
And Kubi is a very interesting personality, I have to say, Richie. He has knowledge on political science. He has knowledge in, psychology. He's a lawyer. He's a very interesting personality.
And he's a very propagandist. Yesterday, I asked him questions and then he defended his position. He can be a very good propagandist. And he's my good friend and I love him. He knows that. Gardien, ici, toi aussi, utasema vinataka.
En tout cas,
Merci, grand frère.
Brothers, Kubi is one of the best person in terms of analyzing people. Antuka, I respect him and I want to thank him for and encourage him of what he's doing as the work is trying to do on the space. Il a ciblé des personnes, il a donné des points de vue et c'est fantastique, c'est merveilleux, mon frère. Bah, en passant par là, j'ai des amis qui sont assis qui sont en train de mener les mêmes studies, qui m'ont proposé de faire une université qui s'occuperait juste de la psychologie et des trucs de trauma au niveau de Eastern Africa. Ils veulent choisir entre la Tanzanie et le Congo, où cette université va être pour essayer un peu de résoudre le problème qu'on a dans la région. L'analyse qu'il a faite, mes frères, soyons honnêtes, on a des problèmes sérieux de PTSD. Soyons vrais, disons-nous la vérité. C'est vrai, on parle d'hypocrisie et tout. Le problème qui est dans la région, surtout entre le Congo, le Rwanda et tout, tu vas voir, c'est basé sur des émotions, des gens, surtout nous qui sommes dans la diaspora, qui veulent exprimer des trucs de vengeance.
Et Papa Gardien, if you don't mind, and then I would like observer après votre speech, comme ça, il va traduire. Parce qu'ici, nous avons quelques intervenants qui ne parlent pas le français.
Okay, let me speak English. So,
or you can also proceed in English if you can.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Mais si tu veux t'exprimer mieux en français,
no, it's fine.
No, Papa Gardien can speak English very well. Please make my life easier.
No problem.
He lives in the US, so he can speak English.
So many people, as Kubi, I will encouraging him, and maybe we should all of us work on that. Is to see the future of that region, brothers. We have people who are, when they talk on the platform, you can see revenge. You can see people who never want to forgive and forget. You can see people who never want to stop and think about what if one day these things stop? What is going to be the next move? But what he's doing is very important. Then the second thing is, as I was saying, there are some professors. These are my friends. We're going to put. They've done such analysis for what Kubi is doing, and decided to put something like that to work with this kind of trauma, or helping the young generation and the people to stop spraying revenge and hatred and all those kind of things we are doing that. Coming up to the what you call the therapy, my brothers. You see, we African, especially us, like Claudine was saying, sometimes when they talk to you about therapy, you're just neglecting and you see that this is something kind of things for white people and all of that. It's only the time you go there, like some of us have said, that they ask you question. When you come back, you start resolving problem of things. Maybe you could see that those small things were normal. But when you come back, you start realizing that you need to respect also sometimes when people go on therapy. Me, I never thought in my life I could go to a therapy. I went to a divorce which hit me, and I was angry, and I wanted to get revenge, and on the same time I get problem in my business, and all of like things were coming like immediately, like together, like boom. You lose money. I lost a lot of millions of dollars, and you go to this and that. You feel like the world was handing. I chose to go to a therapy, brothers. I'm telling you. That therapy, I will never, ever forget about it because it helped me a lot. They asked me, we were talking, Claudine can tell you, the person is creating an ambience, and after that, he asked me a question. That question, guys, was the key of all the problem I had in my life. I'm telling you. Therapy sometimes, yes, I see Observer and Nairo, we're talking about it. But guys, certain things in life, when they ask you to go through it, sometimes just try. It's not even what we are doing on just try it. It's for once. You know, I lost my parent, I was 10. Both of my parents, my mom was very close friend of mine. But I was not in a connection with my father the same way I was with my mom. That guy asked me, what was the moment which I never, what is something which I never done in all my life? By the day my dad died and all of that. I never realized, as my brothers, I'm 50 something. I never realized that I could miss my father the way I miss him that day, my brothers. I cried for like 1 hour, missing my father. Papa, Richie, and Dairo, Observer. There are these people, you know, sometimes people, when they go to school, like Kubi the way he's doing, we need to respect that. Brothers, I've cried for like 2-3 days to remember who was my father, what he had done in his life and what he was doing for me. And all of the time he was like, you know, I met one of his friends in Dubai, and that friend of his, when he just by talking and then he realized that I was a son of his friend, he started crying in Dubai. After 40 years and said, no, you don't understand who was your father. But I never also realized that. I was selfish. Very, very selfish, guys. About my father. Then I start talking to my kid about the grandfather. Who was he? What was he doing? I start releasing it. Today, we were talking about the impact of divorces, okay? When we just realized that these kind of divorces, and it's just, people goes out of the divorce, some are not expressive, like Observer was saying, some are hypocrites, can say, no, I'm fine, but you're not fine, but you can see the impact of the divorce. Where are you going to realize that those impact? In the kids. Either it's a mother or a father, but you realize the way the kids are going to be raised. The result of those kids, you're going to see the way they behave and all of that. But today, when it comes to the society, you realize that even some other kids it's a kind of a choice. Some of the people, they understand that I didn't grow up with my parents, I didn't grow up with my father or my mother. That's why he's talking about the South African. When you see, I've been in South Africa for 17 years, when you see the real problem in South Africa with men there, it's because they grew up with their mother. That's why they're like the way you see them there. That is the fact. It's the truth. But you cannot blame them. Apartheid create that. These are men, and you see he's talking about the Kenyans. Well, South African and Kenyan, when you see their women, they are very they're strong and all of that. The society, since years and years, have been promoted women, and then that's wicked the men. South African men today, they are who they are. Sometimes they are weak and they don't take responsibility. They've been raised by women. They didn't tell them the other side of the man of taking responsibility, taking that way. See a man can run away from his kid, he doesn't even care, and all of that. It's a result of the consequence of the apartheid, because the father who was supposed to be the lead of the house, they chased them away by the system. We were talking about it, and when I talk about it in the company I was working, people were shocked. I said, no, you cannot blame men. And not women, they must be the way they are because they grow up, they teach them to be strong and all of that. But it's not good, guys. You cannot have a woman, she's so powerful and all those kind of things, and she's taking advantage on women, on men, and all so powerful. But look at all the. I'm sorry for divorced women who are here and those who are staying in the US, but look at them in the US here. These strong women, the way they behave. They're so strong. They think that they're powerful.
Papa Guardian, if you don't mind, I just wanted to stop here a little bit and ask you a question. Since when you started, you said that somebody was, he was asking you if you guys can open a university in East Africa, if I've heard you well, and then where you'll be teaching about, things like this, the psychology, whatever, this PTSD and all that. So my question is, according to your research and from hearing you, it feels like you've conducted a certain research. Where is this PTSD best found? It's in grown-ups or it's in young people? Because according to what you've said, I feel like I need to hear a little bit more of it, and I want to know in East Africa, if I can situate it, let's just limit ourselves in East Africa. Where is it best found? Is it among grown-ups or among the young ones? And if it's among grown-ups, how can we prevent it from spreading to the young ones? And if it's growing with the young ones, how can we, what can we do? I mean, just try to land in a few.
Richie, unfortunately, it's the truth, but we need to say it. I'm sorry. But it's the truth. I need to talk about it. Okay?
Say it like it is.
Yes. The Grand Lac region, let's talk about Rwanda, DRC Congo, eastern part of the Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, and part of Uganda. My brother, let's not talk about that part of economy. Okay? Let's talk about the situation itself, right? When you look at what is happening on the eastern part of the DRC, there is a generation of people who, when you look at them on the spaces, we can like it or not, there's a problem of the damage with all this situation. It was, they never look for it, but it's there, right? When you look at Tutsi, Hutu, Congolese from the east and all of that, what are we talking about days and days in the space? Hatred, insulting one another, vengeance, all those kind of things. Do we want that to continue every day? Me, I'm here. You guys, I respect me, and I respect you as well. This is the Africa we want. Besides of being Rwandan, Congolese, we are African. You understand? This is what we want. I cannot just look. I live in the US. I live in Washington. I can't even go to my community because when I go there, I expect to have problems. I can't even meet another. So I become myself. Sometimes it's not good. I'm a human being. Comme vous le dites ici. I have to go to the nightclub. I have to go this and that. And I just become like a monster because I focus on my work. It's bizarre. It's not good. I have to come into the space like this, listen to Kubi, listen to Observer, Claudine and Jolie, my evangelist, and all of that. Because, guys, we need to stand up and fix the problem of eastern Africa. Congo, Rwanda. No, we need to fix it. We must do our best and effort for a living together. That is a mission for me. That's why you see me. I don't care people to hate me, to tell me whatever they want, because people are damaged. Some of the people you see on the group, they don't understand what they're talking about. These are people who are damaged. They are damaged, and others, they don't even know about the stories. They are there just to implement the hatred and the vengeance and all those kind of things. I've been in Lubumbashi. I've been seeing my own people, the Kasai people being chased from Katanga. That was not good. It was on my eyes. Some of you here, they've been in Rwanda seeing what's happening. Some of them, they've been in Goma seeing what's happening. Can we keep talking about the past? Can we keep talking about... Guys, let me even tell you something. I'm part of organizing something in Senegal next year in March. In Senegal, the point of no return. With my group, what are we saying? Okay, people, let's not talk about the Eastern, just to make you understand, Richie, where I'm going. We say, okay, we cry every day, but when people go to that Casamance and see the chain and all of that, they start crying, crying, this, what. When that happened. But since that time, those black who went to America and all those places, the generation and generation, who are they today? Some of them, they've occupied America. Some of them are billionaires. Some of them are this and that and that and that. Then we create a narrative on saying, we are back. So in March, we're going to put an event at the same place to say, we are back. And the people are going to come back to the same point where people were going as a cursed people, as a result of slavery. They're going to come, and it's not like breaking that curse. You understand? Even the situation in the East, people must stand up to say that, yes, it happened, but it will never happen again. Let's build the next Eastern of Africa, of Congo and Rwanda and all of that, with something through those kind of things which are happening, building something, a future which is bright, where we will always be there. But do we continue hating one another, talking about the way people are talking there, manipulating others to hate other people? That is childish. That is so... C'est trop bas. That's why...
Merci, Papa Gardier. En fait, ici, nous avons d'autres intervenants. J'allais te poser la question. Mais la partie que tu as parlé, the eastern part of the East Africa, when you spoke about that, do you know that particular part, that's where we have a lot of churches, that's where we have a lot of mosques, and mind you, the pastors, they have become they are the best therapists. Why don't we get that healing if that part really people are sick?
Are they really pastors? Are they really pastors? Who are the pastors?
No.
You see, that is a problem. I think Madame Hergé was talking about it, but I miss it because I was...
I just say that because I know that you are Christian. I just wanted to hear your point of view.
Let me tell you something. We have a problem because we've been born with some manipulation, right? The real pastor is yourself, the way you've been educated, starting from our ancestors who teach us values. Love your neighbor, love... Even the same Bible is talking about how could you love your neighbor as you love yourself. But when you do a proper analysis, it's like, Richie, you love yourself. Because before you love others, do you love yourself? The moment people start hating other people, killing other people, doing the same thing we are doing, this is who they are. Because if you love yourself, you will love, you're not gonna need something to happen to another person. And now, if you are a pastor,
I feel like I've already heard
a man of God,
where you're going with this, yeah. And
exactly. If you're a man of God, what God is teaching people, not to make money, is teaching people to stay together and to love one another. Period.
Amen to that. Okay, I'm gonna let Alan speak. When you look at Alan's profile picture, it's as if she has PTSD, or maybe she's looking at somebody who has PTSD.
Sorry, Papa.
Another thing, you spoke about me being the best pastor of myself. Guardian, I wonder, the pastor in me, we allow me to get that glass of wine, like, it's not that really, it's not that stingy. Just go get it, The pastor outside is going to be like you singing. Alan, over to you.
I'm sick. Someone needs to give me medicine first before I speak. Yeah, PTSD. This is an interesting topic. You guys said a lot of things. But the way you brought in PTSD, twatangiriye mu gishegu, tujya mu gishegu, bamwe barishima, abapasiteri ndahiro barabyirukana. Now we're here talking about PTSD, sensitive but it's a reality and it's within us, our people. So, by the way, mwiriwe, muraho ariko. Mambo, ngubi uraho. Oya, nsubizaho. Vuga ngo muraho. You lied to me. You're going to start practicing your Kinyarwanda, but you can't even say hi.
On Monday, I'm starting.
No, say Amakuru. It's not that difficult.
Oh, so when you say muraho, it means when you say muraho, I repeat Amakuru.
You can say muraho neza.
Oh, muraho neza. All right.
Neza as her name, the co-host, Neza.
Okay, so when you say, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to remind you, you promised us you're going to start speaking Kinyarwanda. And the reason why I came up, you made a very interesting, you said something very interesting about PTSD. And by the way, thank you very much, because you being a psychologist, you explained as an expert. Some of us, we're not experts, but you made it easy to understand for everyone, which is an interesting take from you. So basically, trauma, PTSD, a therapist is part of, is helping, but pretty much the solution of your healing comes from you yourself, the patient is, and it's supposed to be that way. And you're right, some of those can be here healing or getting very sick from here, depending on, the situation. It's very personal. So thanks for that. Yeah. One thing I wanted to add on what you said, we are on these streets for different reasons, and we come from very different backgrounds. So you're doing this study because you say, I see you. By the way, we most of the spaces you're in, we meet there. Even though I don't speak, but we be in these spaces, a lot of these spaces, Ugandans, Nigerians. We meet in a lot of spaces. Now, it's interesting to know that you're doing this study. But I think it was Nyayo, or I think it was Observer. They asked about what do you think, because you go, you attend these different spaces, and he was like, what can you say about our spaces? And you are like, your judgment, I would say, you are like, all of you guys are sick. You have PTSD. And you say the reason because, first of all, you attend a lot of their spaces. Well, you don't understand the language fully, but according to the few words you pick, it looks like these guys, they're either a lot of time they're talking about politics, which is true, and you think they're talking about things they don't have a solution to. So it turns out most cases I'll say you perceive, because I don't think it's necessarily that, but you perceive it to be toxic. And you say toxic and what else? Like they're trying they're talking about things, but they don't have a solution to. And to you come up, the conclusion was like these spaces you attend our spaces, because most of these spaces I also attend, they all have PTSD. But to me, I think that would be a very generalized conclusion, because even PTSD, people can have PTSD, but at what levels? Different levels. What causes?
Thank you, Adam. You have to debunk that bias.
I'm trying to do so. I'm trying, but I'm trying to be nice and kind. I'm not like you, Rishi. So to get to that conclusion, I picked a few things from you because I know you, Kobe. You a Ugandan, born and raised, a planned kid, if I may say, only planned kid. No doubt about that. So if fellow Ugandans who know what I'm talking about, they will know. So the things you're saying, you're this planned kid, yeah, it's fine. But the reality here is different. So we are on these streets for totally different reasons, and we come from very different backgrounds. Even countries, we are from different countries, but even the realities of where we come from, they're different. Now, you, as in Kobe, you attend all these spaces, and you're trying to study and understand. Now, me knowing you, because we've exchanged, a bit in different spaces, even on a personal level, I can tell why you can come to such a conclusion. You see how we sit in these spaces? Some of these, what you call politics, yes, it is politics, but it's politics, but to some, it is even a reality. Their reality, because you being a Ugandan, me and Claudine, we are Rwandese. Jolie, Neza, and Richie, they are Congolese. Not only are they Congolese, but they're from Kivus. If you know North Kivu and South Kivu. Now, if I ask you, Kobe, what do you know about North Kivu? When you sit and watch on your TVs or on the news. So what I'm trying to point out, if you're going to come to a conclusion, when you go in these spaces, a lot of these spaces that are political, they're in Kinyarwanda. You might see people speaking, coming from, having a lot of emotions. Sometimes you'll see people going back and forth. Sometimes you'll see people shouting. And to you, you might think, oh my God, these people are toxic. But what you think is toxicity, or what you think, why are they shouting? What are they talking about? Because it is not your reality as a Ugandan. Now, a guy from North Kivu, as we speak, a lot of these guys, you say that they're in diaspora, but a lot of these, they're refugees. Their parents, their grandparents, their sisters, their families are being bombarded as we speak on a daily, they're trying to fight. So what they're doing here is they're not just talking about me and you. We might be talking about politics because me, I'm Rwandese. You're Ugandan. There hasn't been a war in Uganda for 40 years. There hasn't been a war in Rwanda for 30 years now. So for us, we can discuss the Congo problem as politics. Now, Jolie and Richie, they're not talking about this as politics as you think. It is a reality. And by the way, whatever they're talking, you might think there's no solution, but they're also looking for solutions. Yeah, so we be here a lot of times. I think you remember the other day he was calling, he talks about there's a space that is going to be where they'll be talking about the Gatumba killings. So you have to understand the context of the spaces. When you go to spaces, first of all, you need to understand the context of spaces and the people speaking, in those, me, because I've been here for quite some time now. When I'm in these spaces, I can tell which is which, who is who. I can tell those who have, and PTSD, yeah, people do have PTSD, like people have real traumas because they're victims of some of the things we are speaking about right now. I might speak about these things as politics, but for them it's not politics. But this is an occurrence happening in real time right now. So it is affecting them as even we speak. So now some of them might have these traumas, but some of these are, like activists and they're doing something, and actually what they're doing is bringing in results. They know what I'm talking about. So I think what I'm saying, you are right about PTSD, but you cannot make a very generalized conclusion to say like all of these guys to you start in the spaces and because they're talking about politics and it sounded toxic to you because you might not understand the language. But that back and forth, and you might think it's toxicity has to do that these people are very traumatic, which some of them are, but in reality, some of them are speaking and they're trying to look for solutions to bring back peace where they come from. Now, for us, me and you, where we come, at least we have a little, I'll say we have peace, speaking, from, again, reality. So what I'm trying to say, we cannot generalize. Everything else you said is true. So some of the spaces you be in, Kobe, I'll remind you, there's this space you be in with these youth, the guys from Uganda. And what are they be talking about?
Hey, I've heard that. I can tell what you're talking about. Yeah.
I get it because you don't even know.
Karia Kananze in Karia.
Yeah, so these are Ugandan youth. They don't have that much problems. So they're free. Now, you are not going to find Congolese sitting and having such, it's a luxury to have such a topic, by the way, such topics. They're not. How do you expect them to sit and, but you plan the kids. But by the way, I'm saying this because there's that other part of Ugandans who are not planned kids. Kubi knows what I'm talking about. Again, if you go in their spaces, you know what they be talking. And if you want to hear real toxicity, it is there also. So it's all different. I think we can see this on a personal level, but not in a generalized. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your submission. I'm gonna give a speak a little bit. Could be. I want EJR to speak, and then you, or maybe you can go before EJR. You're gonna talk with EJR because I don't have a lot of time. Yes, I will let you guys speak. Let me just make a communique. Listen, tomorrow we're having a space. I guess it's going to be hosted by Ziravumera and myself. And it's going to be talking about the Gatumba massacre. So I invite you, all of you guys, come and learn. And this is going to be another opportunity for you to know what happened and why we're doing this. I guess it's going to be another opportunity for us to learn and help us to mourn hours that we lost due to genocide that's happened against us in Gatumba. Okay. Tugiye kuvuga ibyo Gatumba mpereza umurundi kazi ijambo koko ni ikibazo.
Richie, just a quick one to.
I have no head.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, so Richie, because I've told everyone on the space, and this was due to Observer, so I don't want you people to feel comfortable. It's not that, of course, now I've told you what I'm doing on spaces for the past 1 year. I don't want you people to start feeling like, okay, this person is here investigating on us. Some spaces I'm having fun with, to be honest. But yeah.
No, Kubi,
so
don't worry.
Don't
worry. We don't fear you, don't worry.
We are okay with that. We know that there's a lot of psychopaths on the streets as well. So we really don't give a crap.
But Kubi didn't lie. Moi, je vais venir et je vais vous choquer.
But Kubi is a nice guy. He's a very intelligent man. I love him, man. All right, keep up. So, Jolie, over to you. So, you know who's going to speak next?
But before they speak, I will speak before.
By the way.
But the topic was ilikuwa intéressant jusqu'à ce que tunaanza mélanger un peu. Mais ce qui est sûr, Mubi n'a pas menti. Moi, je suis activiste, mais j'aime aussi relaxer par ça. Et je vais vous dire, j'ai essayé ici plusieurs fois. Avec Okila Sanjo, on parle de la politique, c'est pas tout le temps qu'on doit parler. Parfois, j'ai même essayé d'amener l'espace thérapeutique, comme on fait. On a parlé des divorces, on a parlé des relations, on a fait quoi.
mais tu trouveras des gens qui vont changer le topic directement par des sites. Soit l'un va venir dire mon fils ici aussi, c'est autre chose. L'un va venir ici nous dire soit les Kagara, soit les Bifobagane, soit les Rwanda, soit je sais pas quoi. Et c'est que movie, Nkubi, I'm sorry, I don't speak English. So, the thing is, people here, they are like robots. Even if things évoluent, même si les choses évoluent, et puis on a vu tous comment les choses ont évolué, la manière dont cette guerre a commencé, les revendications, tout ça, ça évolue, mais tu trouveras des gens qui dansent la même musique, genre de les débits. Et puis il y a plein de mensonges aussi, il y a plein de propagande aussi. Ce n'est pas tout ce qu'on dit qui est vrai, mais c'est la politique, c'est comme ça. Il doit toujours y avoir des propagandes pour faire passer des narratives aussi. C'est la guerre. Mais il y a des gens qui ne comprennent rien, mais qui sont toxiques. Je vous dirais que ce qu'un coup dit, moi, je même fouille ma communauté parce que c'est toxique. C'est des insultes, il n'y a pas des arguments. Les gens, genre, ces positions, on devient des extrémistes entre vous, genre. Donc, ce qu'un coup dit, ce n'est pas faux. Ben, je ne dirais pas que je vais généraliser non plus, mais la majorité sont toxiques. Du coup, ce n'est pas toujours qu'on essaye de dire les problèmes de notre pays, c'est vrai. Moi, je vous dirais que les gens, quand ils parlent de discrimination, je ne sais pas quoi, s'il y a des gens qui devraient être affectés réellement, c'est nous qui sommes grandis, genre, je dirais, dans des villes, parce qu'on a vécu avec d'autres communautés et on a été toujours discriminés. Qui est un peu différent de nos frères qui sont grandis dans des villages, ils étaient majoritairement là-bas. Il n'y a personne qui les discriminait en réalité. C'est quand ils venaient en ville, tu trouveras, on les disait, they were bullied. Donc, des choses pareilles. Et parfois, ça les affectait. Mais les gens qui ont grandi dans les villages, ils n'ont jamais été discriminés en réalité. C'est peut-être quand tu veux partir dans de faire des examens d'État, ils découvraient d'autres tribus et on les discriminait. Mais nous qui sommes grandis en ville, c'est autre chose. Mais tu trouveras les gens qui parlent des choses qu'ils ne comprennent pas en réalité. Quand il a quitté là-bas chez nous, il est descendu peut-être jusqu'au Rwanda, Kenya, États-Unis. Mais la manière dont il a de parler des choses, il ne connaît pas vraiment la réalité. Il connaît seulement des histoires, tout ça qu'on lui raconte. Mais quand nous autres, on dit des choses, parfois, il faut toujours relaxer. C'est pourquoi tu trouves qu'on est en train de dire les gens ont les PTSD ici. Parce qu'il y a vraiment des traumatismes, c'est vrai. Mais tu trouveras que même si tu changes un peu de sujet, ça revient toujours la même musique. Les insultes, les groupes, les taxations, je ne sais pas quoi. Et les gens ne sont pas dans des arguments. C'est dans des insultes surtout. Donc, moi, je vous dirais qu'un Kubi, he was just giving what he heard or he saw. Et ce n'est pas tellement faux, mais la plupart ne font pas aussi des activismes. La plupart, c'est des addictions aussi. J'ai trouvé des gens qui viennent ici, ils répètent les mêmes mots, et ça devient comme une réalité. Genre, tu ne peux pas venir pendant des ans, dire la même chose. Non, c'est pas ça. Tu es un robot. Et si tu essaies de les challenger, tu deviens un ennemi. Donc, c'est compliqué. Mais ce qui est sûr, c'est pourquoi moi, j'essaie toujours de mélanger, d'aller même dans d'autres personnes. Parce que pour moi, c'est vrai, ce qui est toxique, c'est quand ça ne m'aide pas. Quand je trouve que ça devient trop bas, des insultes, je ne sais pas quoi, catégoriser. Ça n'augmente rien à ma connaissance ni à ma psychologie, quoi. Donc, moi, je quitte toujours. Et puis, pour ma paix, je cherche toujours là où je trouverai l'apaisement, genre, dans des conversations. Donc, Koubi n'a pas quand même menti. Et Koubi, vraiment, il est intéressant, mais c'est quelqu'un qui touche à tout. Il dit les psychologues, je ne sais pas quoi, comme Ndairo a dit. Mais Koubi n'a pas menti, il a dit la vérité. Et c'est quand même triste. Hein? Même nous aussi, quand on conteste ça, on dit, mais les gens sont fous. Même quand on a dit qu'on est fous, on nous a... ça a été devenu la guerre ici. Les autres ont été insultés par leurs parents, exposés, parce qu'on a dit seulement qu'on est fous. Un peu, on disait que nous sommes des fous. Mais c'est devenu autre chose. Donc, vous allez voir le degré de traumatisme et de l'intoxication ici sur X. Donc, courage, les gars. Moi, j'aime les fans, j'aime la politique, j'aime aussi que notre pays se développe, qu'il y ait pas de discrimination, qu'il y ait des développements, qu'il y ait tout. Mais moi, je cherche toujours mon bonheur en premier. C'est pourquoi, quand il y a la politique, je peux m'adapter. Quand il n'y a pas, moi aussi, je vais m'amuser, quoi. Donc, ndio maana mama banikomprendraki bazaka se jolo unakuwa wapi? Niko wapi? Niko kwa niko natafuta amani yangu, siko hapa juu ya kufurahisha watu.
Jolie, naweza kukuuliza question? Jolie?
Oui, papa Gardien.
Jolie, unajua kafe hii niko nakunywa hapa inatokea kule kwa mabintu sama Venezuela kule tu. Na unajua kafe ya mzuri inatokea kapi?
Ase Rwanda.
Voilà. Na ingine kunatokea ku Congo. Okay? Maintenant imaginez-vous tunafanya tu space siku moja. Tunaanza kuangalia namna kani tutaanza kuuzisha kafe inatoka Rwanda, inatoka Congo, inakuja hapa tunauzisha hii sucre mimi naweka mkafe hapa inatoka India. Vous imaginez? Maintenant, if the reason I like this kind of space, we have to start thinking about that Eastern Africa in that way. How are you going to talk about la révolution économique? You know, these are small things, but people are making money. People they don't have time to start feeling sorry for us and all of that. People come to... Oui, papa.
Qu'on fasse la business. Moi, je suis en contact avec... What's going on? I can't hear myself. Oh, man. God damn. Partagez l'espace. Oh my goodness. Can somebody mute and then I will...
Richie, look, you said you have a few minutes, man. Allow us to speak.
Okay, I was gonna ask him a question, but okay, let me let you go, and then I will still indulge in that question because I think when you spoke something about the coffee, if you have some clients, then I have Nico Namali. We can talk about that later on.
Let's talk.
Okay, observe. Go ahead.
Non, Richie, tu peux parler, ça sonne l'argent, tu peux parler.
On va en parler après. Moi aussi, j'ai quelques minutes avant
non, il faut parler.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Say what you gotta say, and then we're gonna talk about business after.
All right.
Later on.
Cool. All right, I'll talk. I see my big brother African boy here with his hands up. But let me take this opportunity to rant a little bit as well. I've been watching this space. You know, I'm almost 1 year and a half now on these spaces, and I gotta say, this is one of the most toxic place I've ever been in my whole life. Before I used to watch people talk, you know, like monologues on YouTube's, a little bit of comments on Facebook, a lot of hatred really, until I got here on Twitter, and especially this space thing. Started talking to people, and I have to say I'm very, very frightened by this platform. All right, first of all, I have to be blunt. I think most of us are naturally unintelligent, and I'm not trying to be. I'm not saying I'm intelligent, but I'm just saying naturally we are very unintelligent. We tend to. We know what we know, and we don't want to learn anything outside of what we know. That's one thing. Yeah, Debs, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to say that I like to learn, and I think that we are intelligent beings, especially. Are you in Africa?
Oh, thanks, Debs. Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah,
I welcome you
I
to
went
Africa.
yeah, African people are very, very intelligent. I've noticed that African people are definitely more intelligent than British people. Yeah.
British people catching strays, yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Debs, listen.
We want peace, Debs.
Debs, this lie is cutting edge.
We don't want trouble. We don't want another colonization, Debs. Please, we've had enough.
No, but you know, when there's something good to say, you should say it. And I think, you know, people in Africa are intelligent, and I don't care about what anyone says about it. I think it's a fact.
Awesome. Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate the compliment, Debs. I think most of us here are Africans. But I do think, you know, intelligence is not limited to a region or a race. I really think intelligence is really, you know, it's everywhere in the world. I should even think intelligence is even in plants. But anyway, I just wanted to say, my personal experience with this space was, at first I really enjoyed it. I came here for some sort of, I think I was trying to do some activism and all of that. But quickly I realized that you can't survive here if you don't choose a side, which to me is the first sign of lack of intelligence. Because you see, when you choose a side, your side will eventually betray you or lack somewhere. And if you're really close, you know, you've decided that this is my side, then it becomes very hard to show that lack of intelligence in your personal group. So that's one thing that I've sort of struggled with. But anyway, it is what it is. But I can say, when coming back to this PTSD, by definition, PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is disorder? If we have to talk about disorder, what exactly is order? You know, because we're talking about disorder here. Order naturally should be something that is.
Are you trying to teach the post 1994 genocide against Rwanda, against the Tutsi, to tell them what is? What are you trying to do?
I think you just came here.
I would like to continue. You're on the right path. You're on the right path. Continue.
Alan Shuti, I think what I'm trying to teach is exactly what you are a perfect example of what I'm talking about. For instance, you come in a space, just landed in, and you've just turned everything that I've said about the Rwandan genocide, which shows your own PTSD.
And happen to be Tutsi who are killed on the both sides.
Of course, yeah, that is
how we can be able to. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, shut the fuck up.
Well, I think you can be a little bit more polite.
I'm telling you, shut the fuck up.
Well, I think you can say it in.
Oh, this is 9. This is a very good exercise. So, first listen, and listen intentionally. Don't listen just to respond. Don't listen just to give the answer. Listen. As somebody who's been here when we started the conversation, people come on.
No,
but this is a very interesting case. You know, this is a very interesting case, and it's too bad because these are for someone to come and talk like that. Because I mean, I assume this is he's a responsible human being, probably father of a family. For someone to come and say something like this in a space, which means there's a whole lot of baggage in his mind. So I respect that. But this is just a typical example of post-traumatic stress disorder. So he's experienced something. And by the way, Alain Shuti, that is history. I don't have to come and teach anyone here that, yes, there was genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda. By the way, I'm Tutsi myself. I'm not negationist, so you can rest, you can be at peace, my brother. But this is a very typical.
kwisobanura kuri inshuti rwose komereza
No, ko ndashaka kumufasha. I'm giving free therapy.
we ntabwo murumva ko hano tuganira n'abantu bose hari abasazi nyabasazi babandi nyine banarogota
sibyo ndi gukora se ko ndamufasha ni free therapy.
urafasha umusazi yawe se ndetse bitakwaba nyine
jewe ntaguzi ko mpfunda basazi uranzi mpfunda basazi
ukunda abasazi bari conscient
we are inconscient agarabi. So this is a typical example of post-traumatic. So what is a disorder? The disorder, by definition, is something that creates friction, right? Order is where there's no contradiction, because where there's contradiction is where there's friction, and where there's friction, there's conflict, and it hurts, and it destroys whether it's destruction within yourself or outside, right? It generally starts from within, and it shows in society. So that's exactly what is happening. So what activity does man do in general that is not destructive? For me, I've looked at this thing for a couple of years. I'm really starting to almost feel hopeless. What is it that man does that doesn't bring some sort of conflict, whether it's in himself or outside? There's almost nothing. You go, your family activities generally are very conflicting. You go to your work, very, very conflicting. Your personal ambition, conflict. Your hopes, your nostalgia, your whatever, very, very conflicting. So it seems like the way that society is shaped generally is just disorderly. Now, we can come here in spaces and try to play around and sort of clean the mess that we can see on the surface. But it seems that there's something very, very serious deep down that is causing all these apparent disorder on the surface. And apparently no one wants to talk about that. Soon as you start talking about it, soon as you start investigating, then they say, well, it's too abstract, or it's too serious, or it's too philosophical, and whatever. And then we get back to our own groups and we start choosing this over that, and then we get into families and all of that. So we are not serious. So if we're not serious, we might as well just come and do spaces that are fun and we enjoy and we play around. But when it comes to serious stuff, we have to take a serious approach. But anyway, this is just my 2, 3, 4 minutes of ranting. But I love you guys. Thanks for the spaces. I think I have a little bit of addiction with these spaces too, so I'll probably stick around. Thanks, Richie, Jolie, and the rest of the space. I'll be in touch.
Thank you, Observer. Thank you. I guess, who's next? Jolie, who's next?
African boy.
African boy.
African boy, go ahead.
Yeah, hello everybody. First of all, let me thank Mr. Richie for his spaces which are driving us crazy and expose us and show our PTSD in the real life. Yeah, so I say hello to everybody in the space, especially my friend Kubi, because he's always welcome, and I think he's a well knowledgeable guy who knows what he's talking about, and he always has a point. So about the PTSD, I was not here when Mr. Kubi spoke, but I think I got the context of what he talked about, and I think he's not far from the truth. Why am I saying this? Because like in our region, if you look at Rwanda, Burundi, and then the Eastern DRC, I would say we have like 2 generations which are living with the PTSD. Let me go back to my country, the Rwanda. Like in Rwanda, 2 generations I've been living with PTSD because of what happened in Rwanda since the 1959. Then the genocide against the Tutsi, which happened in the 94. I am a living witness because, like, for me, I was living with the PTSD. I think I may still have some because it took me 29 years to talk about what happened to me, like to me personally. It took me 29 years. And those 29 years, I had to go through therapy. And, therapy is not welcomed in our culture. But I think Mr. Gardien talked about it. Therapy is something very helpful. And I think Jolie touched it when she talked about the people you find here in the spaces. And like if you are talking to another subject, like a random subject, like saying like the sky is blue, you will end up having somebody who's coming to tell you that the sky was blue, but now it has turned gray because of Rwanda, or because of DRC, or because of Burundi. And that is what shows that we really have the PTSD. Because remember, one of us, we experienced what we couldn't take mentally, physically, and emotionally, because we experienced it when we were kids. So, and we lived with it. We carried it all the way, like all along up to now. That's why you will see like somebody will come up in a space and he doesn't know what people are talking about, and he will request for the mic. And once he's given the mic, the first question will be, what are you guys talking about? And when you are there, sitting there, you will say, oh my God, this again? Like, why can't we sit and listen first before request for the mic? And because I know Rich is in hurry, he's always in hurry because he's chasing money like everybody else. And he had some few minutes left, but I think Kubi was not far from the truth. Because here, if you want, our spaces, we have Burundians, we have Rwandans, we have Congolese, and all of us, we have experienced the similar problems. And the ones who did not experience this, they had a relative, a parent, or a friend who experienced it and who talked about it. And this PTSD, you don't have to live it to experience it. No. Somebody, I've seen kids who were born after the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, who were going crazy, like Mukaga, after seeing just the videos. You know, like when you see the videos of what happened, and these videos, they are kind of stuck in your head, and that's where we get the PTSD from those videos. The videos only, or listening to the testimony of the ones who lived the experience. So I think we need more spaces to talk about this, and we need more spaces to get the help. I call it the help, because I think it's also better to listen than talking. And the last thing I wanted to say, it was about what Observer said. Like spaces had become very toxic to the point some people had run away because they can't take it anymore. But we tell each and everybody, there is a pastor I really love from Rwanda, Antoine Rutayisire. He said that the social media is like the neighborhood. Like if you go to like my neighborhood, like the Bidjogo, California, like you will smell weed. You will do that. That's a fact. But if you go to Nyarutarama, and then you will see nice people who are doing the walk, like the evening walk or whatever day, and you will see nice cars. You will not hear noises. But if you go like in Kubi's country, like in Kampala, oh my God, it's too loud that you can't even hear yourself talking. So spaces are like those neighborhoods. So choose the ones fit your peace, your inner peace, because at the end of the day, we all need the peace internally, the inner peace, and please protect this inner peace because it's the best friend you've got. Because if you lose it, and then you're gonna lose yourself. So Richie and Jolie and everybody here, thank you for the space. But Richie, please next time make it longer. I know you sent me the notification. I wasn't be able to join immediately because I was in the middle of something. But I always enjoy to talk to you guys because you were very intelligent. And the last thing, sorry, is the second last thing. Observer said about not being intelligent. I think that is something I've encountered here because we don't want to learn. And this is a very, very big problem. Because I think if you, like nobody can know everything, and I think there is always somebody who knows better than you do. I think we should always be open to learn a new thing. Like yesterday, I remind everybody, I learned that democracy is, the meaning is believing in God. So I didn't know that. So I took it with the caution, but I took it. At least I had it. So if I was not listening, if I was listening to respond, I was not going to hear that. So thank you, Richie, and thank you, everybody. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, thank you so much, African Bear. Can you hear me? I just changed my network.
Loud and clear.
Sounds good. I just want to thank everybody who came here and who's been with us in this space. Honestly, when I opened it, it was just a Friday thing. I just wanted to keep it cool, to be a little bit full of fun, and. But the thing is, as soon as we started, somebody brought up something about Burundians, and then we delved into politics a little bit. So now we are talking about PTSD, but also the way we change the subject. It's a very good confirmation that all of you guys are sick, and I bet all of you guys are sick because all of you guys participated in all of the conversations that we have. Now we have a lot of sick people in Africa. and unfortunately, I didn't want to keep it long. As you can see, you can hear that I'm driving right now. I have something in a few minutes from now, so I got a bit busy a little bit.
Are you ujya kuri gahunda na EGR?
EGR EGR yabukinze table ngo ntabwo bari kwemera ko yicara ari wenyine, so I gotta go. Anywho, it's a Friday. Make it. I wish you guys a very good weekend. But remember, tomorrow we might have a space. come early, let's learn, and twese dufatane umugongo.
Bro,
You say,
don't forget Ndahiro. Jana Ndahiro
you said
mumugurire
you
fa.
may have a space. No, I think it's a you will have a space, not you may have, because it's an auxiliary for probability. That it may be or not be, right?
I told you that I started speaking English a few years ago. Years back, that's when I started. Yesterday. So you don't quote me on my mistake that I always make when I speak English. It's not my mother tongue. I told you yesterday that every time I would find myself in front of people who fluently spoke English at the time, I would always prepare them. English is my fifth language, especially white people. And then I would also tell them that I speak French. To only find out that French, I don't even speak a bit of French as well, but at least to tell them that I know something that they don't know. So it was good. Thank you, Jolie. Thank you for being here. And then me and Jolie wanted to keep it full. And also thank you, Kubi. Kubi, this guy is a lawyer, but the way he's very well articulated when he speaks about something, he knows the best way to articulate. He can be a very good propagandist. And he is
a lawyer. That is the meaning.
Kobe, swear to God.
Right.
Tell me, are you not a propagandist? Ejo yatubwiye kuri Museveni twumva turavuga se Kayinero Gabazi yamaze ajyari tujye gutora.
Mbese akora propaganda ya Kainerugaba. Ya, basi mimi nakubai.
Like iko domo.
An intelligent person can do propaganda for Kainerugaba. Kainerugaba ni sonde.
Before I close the space. Before I close the space, can you swipe some how do you call it?
If he thought
Balaye quelques mensonges ici.
Kainerugaba mpereza show. He should be a comedian, not a president. If you put him as a president, you are finished, you Ugandans. You are done. Like
the community is very loud. Kubi, can you say something?
No, it's a good space, Richie. So yeah, it's a good space as always, and I'll always be around to participate. No one should worry about the research, but it's always good and informative. So good to hear from Alan those few points that you gave in, which will help me improve. African Boy, my senior, as always. Claudine, as always, my colleague in the profession. It is always good to interact with Claudine. Richie, you too, my brother, very good. Jolie, I haven't heard you speak a lot of English, but again, when you spoke your French, which I don't understand well, I could sense a lady with passion in what she spoke about, except what you said about Kainerugaba. I also appreciate you being here, same as everybody else.
That is my fellow Mutrezi, my brother. We are all Jews.
But Subi, I just want to say one thing. As long as you're conducting your research, if you're learning about me, trust me, you will never graduate. You will never graduate. That's what the West African speaks. Okay, anywho, I just wanted to say thank you guys. So have a good night, have a good weekend. See you tomorrow or maybe on another day. Ubundi asigaye turahurira muri amaspace yandi bavuze ngo tuba tumeze nk'amarobo ariko ibintu byo kuzajya muza kudutukira muri ano maspace. So you guys don't want to tell us how you see us, but you always find a way and you frame it. You know, some people, they're just like robots.
Ni ya system ya bapfukure.
bigari bari Abanyamurenge bose bari mu gihugu cy'u Burundi nta burenganzira bafite habe na gato nubwo bari mu gihugu yoboye wibesha ugakora kuri umwe uzobibona ntabwo ibintu byose bizohora bimeze nk'urwanda wibesha gatoya ukinjira mu nkambi ugakora ikosa ugomba guhita urikora usohoka igihugu cy'u Burundi cyangwa wiyemeza nawe kuba murakoze rero iragi na amor nafashe umwanya munini ariko nagira ngo akagahinda k'Abanyamurenge kumve akagahinda k'abantu bagirirwa bagapfobya buri munsi bamenye yuko ari ugapfobya ari uwabikoze bose bari mu gatebo kamwe murakoze cyane
urakoze cyane Boston akino kumbera ko kuri umwanya wafashe was worth it bikomeye kandi natujya igarukira twiga kuko mwaho byabaye ko direct urakoze cyane kwibaza reka tunyarutse duha umwanya abandi kugira ngo dusubire kuvuga ngo ko turabatebya reka tugende kuri Simba hamaje dukurikiza advisor hama messenger Dr. Emmanuel messenger na ubundi
murakoze cyane ndabasuhuje sinzi niba munyumva
turakumva neza cyane turakumva
bari bampamagara yego murakoze nari mvuze ngo ndabaramukije cyane ya host Fati host na Boston genzi wiwe mubi ndashimira cyane Amor Fati yeguye iki gitaramo cyo kwibuka ndetse yiramushimira ko tubiba umugabo wanga karengane umuntu urwanira ukuri no kwishira ukizana uri intwari rero ndagushimira iragi cyane rwose tanga ibitekerezo kukwigiraho ibintu cinamo urufako ari ukuntu bigora nyuma ya Boston uvuga uduhire kuko hari igihe uhita ubituvugira dutaramanye n'imfu gusa ntabwo ndi bufaya munini
Simba